जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रील रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रील जीव गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। Thank you very much once again, dear devotees, for kindly assembling here. Last Saturday, we could not have this session on Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam because I was traveling. But once again, I'm very happy to see each and every one of you assemble here. And once again, I should express my gratitude to Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu because I couldn't have gotten such an excellent host for this series of talks on Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. And it's not easy being the host because you have to be prepared for any question that may pop up at any point of time. So Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu is expertly ready and for answering all the questions. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I'm very grateful to you. Thank you, all of you dear devotees, for kindly being here. Many of you have memorized Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam and many of you are in the process of memorizing it. So my best wishes to all those who are in the process of memorizing it. I hope that you'll be able to memorize it soon and you will be able to relish each and every verse, each and every term of Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. Dear devotees, we are continuing our detailed study on Srila Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamritam. And this detailed study is gradually coming to the final few verses of Upadeshamritam. We are midway through the 8th verse. There is still a lot to be discussed, but gradually we are reaching the end of Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam because the remaining 3 verses will be focused around one particular topic, that is the glory of Srimati Radharani and Shri Radhakund. This is the final verse that we get to speak about in detail, about the sadhana, the practice of bhakti that Shri Rupa Goswami expects from those who are studying Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. Therefore, there can be no cheating as far as giving out the highest fruit from the tallest tree is concerned. Shri Rupa Goswami expects his followers to know about the path of Raganuga Bhakti, and this is what he is explaining in the 8th verse. Dear devotees, before we begin, we will ensure Shanti pathah, auspiciousness, for the person who is speaking and for the audience who is listening. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanam Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May Bhagwan protect both of us, the teacher as well as student. May Bhagwan bestow the highest fruit of this study upon both of us. May both of us attain the strength to realize the highest truth. May our study shine forth brilliantly. And may we, the person who is teaching as well as the person who is learning, never envy each other. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May peace pervade the 3 worlds. Dear devotees, we should also glorify Srila Rupa Goswami. This is a small verse composed in glorification of Srila Rupa Goswami. Purupara pararupam paparheturapapram purariporapiparam raparupa paramparam. Glorify this parampara of Sri Rupa Goswami, which resembles a vast devotional ocean, which is like a fresh water supply that refreshes the life airs of Sri Krishna. the destroyer of all sinful reactions, and which is worshipable even for Sri Shiva, the enemy of Tripurasur. This verse has been composed using only two consonants, Ra and Pa. All others are vowels. Dear devotees, a verse for glorifying Srila Rupa Goswami before we continue. This is the verse which we are discussing. Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrityoh Kramena Rasaramanasi Niyojya Tushtan Vrajeta Danuragi Jananugami Kalam Nayedakhilamithyupadeshasaram. While residing in Vraja, a devout follower of individuals attached to Vraja should spend one's entire time by investing one's tongue and mind, respectively, in joyous kirtan and repeated smaran of the name, form, character, etc. of Krishna and his associates. This indeed is Upadeshasaram, the essence of all instructions. This was the main verse that Sri Rupa Goswami wanted to highlight. The text is called Upadeshamritam, nectar of instruction or instructional nectar. And this is the sar, this is the essence of that Upadeshamritam. Dear devotees, till now we have discussed how this verse is speaking about a very specific type of bhakti, and this bhakti is known as Raganuga Bhakti. This bhakti is not meant for each and everyone. It is only meant for a specific devotee who has a specific mood and temperament. There is a requirement for Raganuga Bhakti, and this requirement, this eligibility, was specified in the previous talks. Dear devotees, this eligibility is Lobha. One should have Lobha, or intense hankering, to attain the mood of one of the Vrajavasis. On hearing this, somebody may say, well, yes, like a student who has just entered a new classroom, just entered a new grade. Somebody may say, yes, I have that Lobha. Yes, I feel I have. So, dear devotees, we should understand the entire path correctly, because it is good to have initial enthusiasm about Lobha. But unless we understand the entire path, we will not be able to traverse upon it. I'll begin with a statement by Srila Prabhupada. In Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, 13th chapter, he says, when one becomes deeply affected by the devotion of the residents of Vrajabhumi and tries to follow in their footsteps, he does not care for the restrictions or regulations of the revealed scriptures. This is characteristic of one discharging Raga Bhakti. Here, Srila Prabhupada is saying he does not care for the restrictions or regulations of the revealed scriptures. So it does not mean that he stops following scriptures altogether. It means that any scriptural rule, any scriptural injunction, which goes against his natural flow of Lobha, his natural attraction towards the mood of Vrajavasis, any such scriptural rule or regulation is neglected by such a devotee. Dear devotees, it is not easy to follow the path of Raganuga Bhakti. This is not my conclusion. This conclusion has been given to us by the previous acharyas. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Hantaraganuga Vartma Durdarsham Vibudhairapi. Hanta, alas, Raganuga Vartma. Vartma means path. The path of Raganuga Bhakti, Durdarsham, is difficult to be seen and understood. Vibudhairapi, even by the Vibudhas. Vibudha has two meanings according to Sanskrit dictionary. Vibudha means Devata, the gods. Vibudha also means Panditaha, the learned souls. Dear devotees, Durdarsham, Durdarsham, very difficult to be seen or understood, even by the great Pandits. I have said previously, this path is not one which you can mass manufacture for the great population of the world. No, no. If you are thinking, well, I will attend this series of talks and I will understand, make notes, I'll understand everything, and then I will make a model in which I can replicate Raganuga Bhakti for the millions of individuals around the world. Sorry, that is not possible. It is simply not possible. Most individuals do not have the required acumen to understand the path. Most have misplaced enthusiasm. Most do not understand the path correctly. In order to understand the path correctly, one has to follow exactly in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and these acharyas. If one does not follow, and if one whimsically thinks that now I am a Raganuga Bhakta, then his raga or his so-called attachment will not persist. Dear devotees, therefore, once again I am saying that not everybody is eligible for following this path. But since this path is clearly expressed in the current verse of Upadeshamritam, therefore I have no choice but to discuss it. This is the sole reason why this discussion is taking place. Because I cannot cheat everyone and say, no, no, this verse is speaking about Vaidhi Bhakti. Sorry, this verse is not speaking about Vaidhi Bhakti. Because it is speaking about Raganuga Bhakti. Tishthan vraje tadanuragi jananugami. This verse is speaking about Rag Bhakti. It is not speaking about Vaidhi Bhakti. And therefore, dear devotees, anybody who feels that I wish to have Raganuga Bhakti, please understand that the path is not so easy. We will have to traverse with great care and precaution, and we will have to make sure that we understand the previous acharyas very clearly without any mistakes. Dear devotees, I had specified one requirement, one prerequisite for entering into the path of Raganuga Bhakti. Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu, can you please tell me what is the prerequisite I had specified for being eligible to enter the path of Raganuga Bhakti?
You have to have Lobha, or an intense desire to attain it.
Wonderful. We have to have Lobha. Lobha is intense eagerness to attain the mood of a Brajavasi, an eternal associate of Shri Krishna. So Lobha means intense eagerness. Intense eagerness for what? Intense eagerness for attaining the mood of an eternal Brajavasi. This Lobha, dear devotees, cannot be produced artificially. It is innate, it is natural, it is produced organically within the heart of a devotee. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives great guidance on the path of Raganuga Bhakti. Because we may have many doubts, the path is unclear. But Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives brilliant guidance in his literature named Raga Vartma Chandrika. Chandrika means moonlight, Vartma means path, and Raga means the path of Raganuga Bhakti. So this literature is like a moonlight which illuminates the path of Raganuga Bhakti. The devotee Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Nahi kenachit shastra drishtya lobha kriyate. Nobody can have lobha merely by analyzing shastra. Merely by studying various shastras, you cannot have lobha. No, it is not possible. Napi lobhaniya vastu prapto swasya yogya yogyatva vichara kopyudbhavati. There are many who are thinking, am I qualified for Lobha? Am I not qualified? Do I have Raganuga Bhakti? Do I not have Raganuga Bhakti? Such thoughts do not occur in the minds of people who actually have Lobha. Neither does any doubt ever arise of one's qualification or disqualification in attaining the object of one's Lobha. There are no doubts in the minds of a person who has Lobha. Such a person understands his position simply by analyzing his or her heart. Kintu lobhaniya vastuni shrute drishteva svata eva lobha utpadyate. How can such a person understand automatically? It is when one hears or sees the objects of one's lobha, the innate lobha arises naturally. So it cannot be produced by a mechanical process. Either somebody has it or somebody doesn't have it. Somebody who doesn't have it can get it. But if you don't have it right now, then you cannot produce it artificially within your heart through any artificial means. Then how do we produce Lobha? How do we get that Lobha? This is a most important question. Because unless we have Lobha, the intense greed to attain the mood of a Vrajavasi, we will never follow Raganuga Bhakti. And unless we do not follow Raganuga Bhakti, unless we follow Raganuga Bhakti, we will never be able to attain Goloka Vrindavan. It is very clearly stated in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Vidhi Bhakti Vraja Bhava Paite Nahi Shakti. Vaidhi Bhakti does not have the required strength to take us all the way to Goloka Vrindavan. Many of us want to attain Raganuga Bhakti. We want to attain Goloka Vrindavan. But we should know how to attain this Lobha. Because this Lobha is the primary qualification for entering into the path of Raganuga Bhakti. Dear devotees, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives us assuring words. He says, please hear, Lobha is of two types. Sacha, that Lobha, Bhagavat Kripa Hetuko, Anuragi Bhakti Kripa Hetukas Cheti Dvividha. He says, Lobha is of two types, dear devotees, please hear. First is Bhagavat Kripa Hetuko, Lobha arising due to mercy of Bhagavan. Sometimes Lobha arises in a person's heart simply because Bhagavan gives his mercy to this person. And the second variety is Anuragi Bhakta Kripa Hetukas Cheti. Lobha arising due to the mercy of an Anuragi Bhakta or a Raganuga Bhakta. These are the two types of Lobha. See here, he is proving the point that Lobha cannot be attained by one's own effort. Lobha is attained only by two ways. Either Bhagavan decides he is going to give it, or either you come in contact with a devotee who already has that. People have many illusions about Lobha. Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu, Prabhu, I will ask you a few questions. Please help me overcome my illusions. All right. Srila
Okay.
Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, he had Lobha because he had the greatest amount of wealth that he spent in Krishna Bhakti. Am I correct?
No, Prabhu.
He had the greatest number of disciples.
No.
Oh, he built the biggest temples.
No. That's not why.
And maybe Sri Jiva Goswami had it because of these reasons.
No, Prabhuji.
Sri Narottama Das Thakur,
No.
Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti,
No.
Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan,
No.
Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur,
No.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur,
No, Prabhuji.
Srila Prabhupada.
No, Prabhuji.
But, I can have because I am a member of a society which has great number of Vaishnavas.
Not merely by your membership, Prabhuji.
I spend so much wealth.
You can't buy it. It's something spiritual.
Goodness, Prabhu, you are breaking my illusions. I had sweet illusions about getting Lobha. I thought that because I am a member of a big group, where so many lakhs and millions of Vaishnavas are present, therefore Krishna will automatically give me Lobha and the highest destination.
No, Prabhuji. Not automatically.
Goodness. So dear devotees, thank you, Prabhu, for shattering my sweet illusions. So dear devotees, Lobha is attained only due to two reasons. Because Bhagavan has decided that somebody will have it, or because a Raganuga Bhakta has decided to give it to somebody. Then he says the second type of Lobha, because this is the main one, which is attained by the mercy of a Raganuga devotee, is further divided into two subcategories. First is arising from mercy of such a devotee due to contact with such a devotee in previous lives. And second is arising from mercy due to contact with such devotees in the current life. So, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is indirectly indicating that the second type of Lobha is the main one which we are aiming at. We want to attain Lobha in this life, and by getting association of such a sadhu who already has Lobha. If we ever find such a sadhu, dear devotees, we should know this particular sadhu is the gateway for our eligibility into Raganuga Bhakti. Not merely by big numbers, not merely by spending a lot of wealth. No, it will not happen. Lobha will not occur by any form of worldly success in spiritual life. Lobha will occur only when an existing Raganuga Bhakta decides to give it to us. So this is the clear verdict of our previous acharyas. This is confirmed in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Srila Rupa Goswami. Krishna tad bhakta karunya matra labhaika hetuka. Raganuga Bhakti and its qualification in the form of Lobha is attained how? Eka hetuka, primarily by Krishna tad bhakta karunya. Karunya means mercy of Krishna or tad bhakta, or Krishna's devotee. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is following so precisely in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami. And we have to also follow this path exactly, not by my whims, not by my fancies. I have to follow the path which has been given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Otherwise, there is every chance of failure, dear devotees. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his Ragavartma Chandrika gives the example of deriving milk from a cow. Just because I am a very rich person, just because I have many servants, doesn't mean that I will know how to derive milk from a cow. If I want to learn how to derive milk from a cow, I have to personally go and find a proper cow. I have to learn how to feed the cow. I have to learn what time I should milk the cow. And I have to learn the art of milking the cow. Otherwise, somebody will give me milk for 1 day, somebody will give me milk for 2 days. But if I need milk daily, regularly, I should have my own specific arrangement of getting a cow from whom I can derive milk. Similarly, some sadhu who has Raganuga Bhakti may come, visit, and then he may give inspiration, and wow, it was all very nice. But as soon as that sadhu goes away, then we are left with our platform of Vaidhi Bhakti. So we have to take the efforts to find out how to attain that Lobha, how to follow the path, how to reach the destination. And people who are scared of, going against Shastric injunctions, for them, Raganuga Bhakti is not the path. People who are following Bhakti out of fear, for them, Raganuga Bhakti is not the path. Dear devotees, there are some parts of Vaidhi Bhakti which we will not be able to follow on the path of Raganuga Bhakti. All of this will be revealed by our acharyas. But we need to have the courage to start following this particular path and to start developing the qualification that is Lobha. Some individuals have another illusion. Some people think after I am perfected, after I have perfected Vaidhi Bhakti, then I will start Raganuga. Right now, let me first perfect my Vaidhi Bhakti. This is another sweet illusion which is carried by many individuals in their hearts. This is not the teaching of our previous acharyas. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur very clearly says, Sacha lobho ragavartmavartinam bhaktanam guru padashraya lakshanam arabhya swabhishta vastu sakshat prapti samayam. Such a lobho, for those devotees who are traversing on the path of Raganuga Bhakti, such a lobho, that lobha begins at which stage? Guru padashraya lakshanam. At the stage when the devotee takes shelter of Shri Guru. It can begin from the very first stage. Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu, when somebody takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Guru, is that person expected to be a sadhaka, a practitioner, or a siddha, a perfected person?
A practitioner.
Wonderful. So many people have this illusion that we will, because it's so high, I cannot attain it. Oh, the grapes are sour. So once I have perfected my Vaidhi Bhakti, then I will think about it. No. You have to think about it when you are practicing your sadhana bhakti. And this lobha will start from the stage of taking shelter of a bona fide guru, and it will go all the way till the final attainment. Sakshat prapti, the direct attainment of Bhagavan Shri Krishna's darshan. This is what? This lobha. This is the domain of lobha. So please do not think that I will postpone it for later. No. If one is not interested in Lobha at this point of time, it means one is not eligible for Raganuga Bhakti. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that, fortunate are the people who understand this path. We are very fortunate that we attained the lineage of Sri Rupa Goswami. More fortunate are those who got initiated in the lineage. Most fortunate are those who understood the core of the lineage, Raganuga Bhakti. These are the most fortunate individuals. But dear devotees, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Lobha, is very good. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur categorized into two types. That which arises by Bhagavan's mercy and that which arises by devotee's mercy. Wonderful. But there is another way in which Lobha can be categorized. Please hear carefully. In Dashamula Tattva, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Rativa Lobha dui prakar, Kshanika u naisargik. Lobha can also be categorized into two types. What are the two types? This is kshanik, momentary, flickering lobha, and naisargik, natural, steady lobha. Now, dear devotees, what is momentary and what is natural? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur will explain in Dashamul Tattva. He says, many sadhakas hear the character and pastimes of Nanda Maharaj, Subal, or Srimati Radharani. They attain specific delight in hearing such narrations. Sometimes they even show some temporary lobha or bhava. Sometimes they start showing some symptoms of bhava. But those symptoms are temporary. They go away. Such lobha or bhava does not persist and therefore is known as kshanik, momentary lobha, momentary bhava. As so some sadhu comes to town, that sadhu has raga bhakti in his heart. The sadhu speaks katha of Nanda Maharaj. Some people come and they develop attachment to that katha. Wow, so nice. But then as soon as the sadhu goes away, that lobha also goes away. This is known as kshanika lobha, momentary lobha. He says this type of bhava or lobha will not do. Therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says it is very much necessary for the sadhak to see which particular rasa is the sadhaka inclined. Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya or Madhurya. As I said, Shanta is discarded from the Sampradaya. I have explained previously many times. Shanta is naturally discarded from the Sampradaya. The Sampradaya does not give Shantaras. It begins with Dasyarati. So the sadhak has to maturely, patiently hear Krishna Katha from the sadhu. The sadhak has to also make self-study, has to study the various kathas of Sri Krishna. the childhood pastimes, the pastimes in Mathura, the pastimes in Dwarka, the pastimes in Sri Vrindavan. And then the sadhak has to analyze which particular rasa is naturally attracting oneself. This is the verdict of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But one cannot make a decision all by one's own self. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, only after checking the natural inclination of the sadhaka will the guru ask them to follow a particular bhava. So the sadhaka may have a particular inclination, but the sadhak should go to a guru who is an expert on this path, and the sadhaka should confirm from the guru. Otherwise, what will happen? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, and incorrectly, immaturely ascribed bhava will not persist. Also, some people have another illusion that, oh, it's Rupa Goswami Sampradaya, everybody, Madhurya Ras, get in the line. We are giving Madhurya Ras wholesale. Sorry, no. It is also incorrect to say that all sadhakas are potentially eligible for Madhurya Ras. No. Different sadhakas will have different inclinations. And Chari Bhava Bhakti Diya. The Chaitanya Charitamrita says Mahaprabhu came to give 4 bhavas. So what are the 4 bhavas? Dasya, Takhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. Please do not restrict the Sampradaya only to one small lake. The Sampradaya is giving 4 different types of rati or bhava towards Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes a very bold statement. Gurus who are not capable of determining eligibility of the disciple in a particular bhav should clearly instruct the disciple to take shelter of another capable guru. Besides this, besides taking shelter of a bona fide capable guru, there is no other way for the disciple. Absolutely no other way. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes it very clear. So dear devotees, many times when individuals hear requirements like this, they say, they give up and say, well, it's so difficult, it's not possible for me. Better I just follow my regular sadhana that I am doing. This is where most individuals are filtered out. Please try to understand. This is where most individuals are filtered out. A person, just like Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, a person who has lobha for milk, what will that person do? At any cost, he will try to attain that milk. He will learn how to take care of a cow. He will learn how to feed the cow. He will learn how to derive milk from the cow. But if a person starts thinking, oh, it's so difficult to obtain a cow in the cities, what will I do? Then, well, milk is not for you. It's as simple as that. This is the stage where most individuals are filtered out. So, if one does not have the required acumen to get shelter of such a guru, then it will not happen. Other devotees have other illusions. Oh, my guru, Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu, Prabhu. My guru is, he has so many thousands of disciples. Definitely he is the one. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, no. Please do not determine, who is an eligible guru and who is not, simply by numbers. He says the guru should be eligible to check the natural inclination of the sadhaka and give a clear direction that you follow this particular path. That sort of a guru is needed. So that sort of a guru is, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's indication is in this direction. I am specifying his words directly because it is important for us to understand that this is the path we have to follow. Those who are scared of taking to this path, please understand that not everybody has to take to this path. Vaidhi Bhakti is for the masses. Raganuga Bhakti is for those who are willing to take this particular, I would say in my language, I would say, who are willing to take this small risk. That, we have to find such a guru. We have to follow such a path. Although it's not a risk technically, but who have this particular attitude of finding such a guru, of following the mood of the Brajavasis. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur therefore says, he has given two types of Lobha, momentary and natural steady Lobha. He says natural, steady, genuine Lobha is attained only by hearing from such a sadhu. In the Harinam Chintamani, he very clearly says, Nijapeksha Shrestha Shuddha Bhavuka ye jana Bhava Marge Guru Deva Say Mahajana. Who is the Guru on the path of Raganuga Bhakti? He says, Nijapeksha Shrestha Shuddha Bhavuka ye jana. A Rasika, Bhavuka Bhakta, who is superior to oneself, is indeed that Mahajan who can act as a Guru on the path of attaining Bhava and Prema. Alright, please do not make the mistake of determining such a Guru merely by numbers. Dear devotees, such a Guru has to be Shuddha Bhavuka Bhakta. And he is the Gurudev on this path. Tahar Shri Mukhe Bhava Tatvera Shavana Haile Shravana Dasha Hai Prakatana. Tahar Shri Mukhe, hearing from his mouth. Bhava Tatvera Shravana, when you hear philosophical truths about Bhava and Prema from his auspicious mouth. Shravana Dasha Hai Prakatana, the first stage, Shravana Dasha, will become manifest. This is the entry into Lobha. We will develop the desire to hear about Bhagavan Shri Krishna and his associates in Shri Vrindavan. Then he says, Radha Krishna Ashtakala Ye Lila Kare Tahar Shravane Lobha Aya Atapare. Then hearing the pastimes carried out by Radha Krishna and other Vrajavasis, during the 24 hours of the day, one finally develops genuine, everlasting Lobha. Dear devotees, this is the proper sequence of attaining Lobha by hearing from the mouth of a sadhu, by gaining the kripa, the mercy of a sadhu, dear devotees. In rare cases, it is possible that simply by Bhagavan's mercy one may develop, or from previous lives one has already developed. But those who have not developed it till now, this is the standard path, dear devotees. Now, after Lobha has arisen, now a devotee is very enthusiastic to know everything about Shri Krishna. Now I want to know about Shri Vrindavan. My attention is now focused not on Dwaraka, not on Mathura, but exclusively on Shri Vrindavan. How is Shri Krishna in Shri Vrindavan? What are the various qualities of Shri Krishna in Shri Vrindavan? What are the various activities and pastimes of Shri Krishna in Shri Vrindavan? This Lobha has arisen in the devotee's mind. The devotee's heart is now filled with Lobha. But now it is essential to increase this Lobha. Now, how does this Lobha increase? Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comes and guides us. Because some people will say, no, you need to have the Guru all the way till the end. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives us the correct understanding. He says, Udbhute tadrishe lobhe, shastra darshiteshu, tat bhav prapti upayeshu, acharya chaitya vapusha swagatim vyanakti, iti uddhavokte. So he gives a verse and says, in the 11th canto there is a verse, acharya chaitya vapusha swagatim vyanakti. Once Lobha has arisen, the various methods to nourish and attain bhava prema are according to the statement in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Which statement? Acharya Chaitya Vapusha Swagatim Vyanakti, 11:29-6. Bhagavan appears externally as Acharya Vapu, externally as the Acharya, as the Shiksha or Diksha Guru, and Chaitya Vapusha internally as the Chaitya Guru, Paramatma within the heart. As per the statement of Sri Uddhava, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, we can understand that progress on the path of Lobha occurs in the following ways. How does a person progress? First, Acharya Vapusha. In some sadhakas, by directly hearing from the Acharya or the Guru who is a Raganuga Bhakta. And if we don't have that, then if our Diksha Guru, has not given us such instructions, but we still have such Lobha, then what do we do? Then second type of Acharya. In some sadhakas, by hearing from a Raganuga Bhakta, besides the Guru, who is fully aware of the path. Okay, but if we are not fortunate to have both these, then Chaitya Vapusha. In some fortunate devotees whose consciousness is drenched in bhakti, such progress joyously occurs automatically by inspiration within the heart, dear devotees. So, he does not keep progress on the path of Raganuga Bhakti dependent exclusively on the Acharya. He says that such progress also occurs by Chaitya Vapu, by the Chaitya Guru within the heart. Bhagavan gives instruction within the heart on how one can progress on this path, dear devotees. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Bhagavan has said in the Bhagavad Gita, I will give intelligence to such people. If they are properly fixed on the path of attaining me, I will give them that required intelligence. If they are not cheaters, if they are looking for the genuine substance, that is rag, I will give, if nobody else is available, I, Shri Krishna, will myself give the direction to that devotee. But dear devotees, do not cheat yourself. First and foremost, try to find a devotee who is already situated on the path. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, these three are just like the progression of a sense enjoyer towards attaining his desires for sense enjoyment. Just like a sense enjoyer, he wants some object of sense gratification. He gets it by asking some existing person, or he gets it by inspiration within the heart. Similarly, Lobha also is increased in these different ways. Once a person has Lobha, what are the literature that one can refer to in order to increase one's Lobha, in order to attain that mood of Shri Vrindavan? Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Taccha Shastram, and I will tell you which literature. Sarva Upanishad Sara Bhutam, the essence of all Upanishads. Srimad Bhagavatam, why it contains most reassuring words. What words? Words like in the third canto. Yeshamaham priya atma sutascha takha guru suhrido daivamishtam. Kapil Muni's words are there. Since the devotees have accepted me as their friend. See, he's speaking about Raganuga Bhakti. Devotees have accepted me as their friend, their relative, their son, preceptor, parent, and supreme deity. They cannot be deprived of their possessions at any time. Nobody will ever fall down from this path of bhakti, dear devotees. This literature which gives us most reassuring words, Srimad Bhagavatam, the essence of all Upanishads, is the main literature to be followed on this path. All right. Any literature besides Srimad Bhagavatam? Yes. Tatha tat pratipadita bhakti vivarana chanchu Shri Bhakti Rasamritarnavadikamapi. Besides Srimad Bhagavatam, that literature which is like a chanchu, a parrot's beak, for tasting the mango-like devotional descriptions of Srimad Bhagavatam. Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu, when a mango is, eaten by when a mango is pierced by the beak of a parrot, what happens to the mango?
It becomes sweeter.
Yes. So he's used the term chanchu, Bhakti Vivarana Chanchu. So chanchu means beak. So Srimad Bhagavatam is like a mango, the literature which is like a chanchu, the beak which sweetens the mango. And which literature it is? That literature is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Api, this literature is also equally important in order to understand this particular path, in order to progress on this path. And besides that, obviously there are many other literatures. Sri Gopal Champuhu, Sri Ananda Vrindavan Champuhu. And the Sampradaya is not dead. The Sampradaya is alive. In every generation, devotees who are on the path of Raganuga Bhakti will write new literature. Dear devotees, all these literature which are following precisely in the footsteps of Sri Rupa Goswami and the previous acharyas, these are also authentic literature for progressing on the path of Raganuga Bhakti. So, dear devotees, this is indicated here by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, please know that in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, there are three most important verses for progressing on the path of Raganuga Bhakti. What are the three most important verses? And he lists those three verses. These three verses are one after the other, sequential verses. First and most important verse. Krishnam smaranjanam chasya preshtham nijasamihitam tat katharatas chasau kuryad vasam vraje sada. Srila Rupa Goswami is instructing Krishnam smaran while performing smaran of Krishna. Janam cha asya and his specific associate. Which associate? Preshtham nijasamihitam. The specific associate dear to one's mood. Tat katha ratascha. Asau, a person who is fully immersed in these specific narrations favorable to one's lobha. Puryad vasam vraje sada, should reside always in Vraja. Residence in Vraja I will take up in a future session. But first and foremost, the main thing to do on the path of Raganuga Bhakti, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says here, Smaranasya atra mukhyatvam. The main thing is Smaran. Raganuga Bhakti progresses through Smaran, dear devotees. So, understanding Shri Krishna Lila, remembering Shri Krishna Lila and remembering those specific aspects which are according to one's lobha, one's natural innate greed for a specific mood of Shri Vrindavan. That particular katha one has to hear and remember. Second important verse. Seva sadhaka rupena siddha rupena chatrahi tadbhava lipsuna karya vrajalo kanusaratah. Now a devotee who's on the path of Raganuga Bhakti has to render service through two simultaneous mediums. Seva sadhaka rupena. Service is rendered simultaneously through the body of a sadhaka. This body, which gets the name Dasa or Dasi, is called sadhaka deha. So this body, through this body, we render service such as Ekadashi, Japa, Kirtan, etc. And Siddha Rupena. And the sadhaka is expected to, the sadhaka on the path of Raganuga Bhakti is also expected to render service through a Siddha Deha or the body of Siddha. These two services are respectively carried out according to the perfected sadhakas and siddhas of Raja. So if I am rendering service through sadhaka deha, through this body, then I have to follow the Vrajavasis who are good sadhakas. Who are they? Sri Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. I should render service according to them. And service as a siddha is rendered according to the mood of the Siddha Vrajavasis. Who are the Siddha Vrajavasis? Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, etc. And the third important verse, because Vaidhi Bhakti has 64 limbs. Should we give up those 64 limbs in Raganuga Bhakti or should we continue to follow them? So Sri Rupa Goswami says, Shravanot Kirtanadini Vaidha Bhakti Uditani tu Yanyangani Chatanyatra Vigyayani Manishibhi. This is almost all the limbs of Vaidhi Bhakti, Shravan, Kirtan, etc. Yani angani, tani atra vigyayani. All that are favorable to Raganuga Bhakti should also be applied on Raganuga Bhakti. So don't stop your Ekadashi, don't stop your Japa simply because you have now attained this path. Sri Rupa Goswami clearly says all the limbs of Vaidhi Bhakti which are favorable to Raganuga Bhakti will also be applied to Raganuga Bhakti. Dear devotees, I have given a small summary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's literature, Ragavartma Chandrika. But the details of this particular literature and the details of the path have to be known from a person who is already an expert on the path, dear devotees. In this Upadeshamritam series, I will be touching upon the basics of this particular path. The details have to be understood by each and every individual, because we have to put the effort and we need to have the proper attitude in order to attain perfection on this path. Dear devotees, on hearing this, that the path of Raganuga Bhakti is so specific, it has such a specific requirement, many individuals, they become slightly disturbed and say, well, I cannot fulfill all these requirements, but still I will attain. How will I attain? Because I am member of a group which is most successful in the society of Vaishnavas. No, it will not happen like that. Oh, my Vaishnav group has the greatest amount of wealth. Therefore, Krishna will definitely give me Raganuga Bhakti. No, sir. It is not possible like that. Srila Rupa Goswami has written a specific verse for saying that any display of money, any display of followers, etc., is not considered by Sri Rupa Goswami as limbs of Uttama Bhakti. This verse is rarely discussed amongst devotee circles, but this verse is present in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It is important to break the illusions, the sweet illusions that we are carrying. Because unless these sweet illusions are broken, we will not actually take the effort of progressing on the path of Raganuga Bhakti. Because many individuals are thinking, and a few years ago I was also under the sweet illusion. Well, Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu, I became a member of a very big group. Since such a big group is following Krishna Bhakti, so Krishna definitely has to give Raganuga Bhakti. Yes or no?
No, Prabhuji.
But ours is the wealthiest group.
It's not according to money or what group you belong to.
But Prabhu, so many devotees are doing so many big projects, and how can Krishna not give?
Because the qualification is not how big your project is.
Hare Krishna. So I wish 10 years ago somebody would have broken this illusion for me. But I learned it the difficult way. But Sri Rupa Goswami wants that we should learn the easy way. And the easy way is to hear directly from Sri Rupa Goswami. Sri Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu composes a verse which many individuals might not have seen or tried to understand in depth. Sri Rupa Goswami says, Dhana Shishyadi Bhirdvarir Ya Bhaktirupapadyate Viduratvad Uttamata Hanya Tasyascha. Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu, what is the meaning of Dhana and what is the meaning of Shishya?
Dhana means wealth and Shishya means disciples or followers.
Wonderful. Dhana Shishya Adibhir Dvarer. Ya Bhakti, that which is proclaimed to be Bhakti on the strength of Dhana, wealth, Shishya, disciples, Adi, etc. Ya Bhakti Upadyate can never actually be known as Uttama Bhakti. Why? Viduratvat. Dur means far. Vidur means very far. Viduratvat. Because such a show of bhakti is actually very far away from Uttama Bhakti. And Uttamata Hanya Tasyascha. And in fact, such a show of bhakti harms Uttama Bhakti. Therefore, Sri Rupa Goswami is making the point here that within 64 limbs of bhakti, I could have included two. What are those two? Earning wealth for Krishna and earning disciples for Krishna. I could have made these two as two limbs among 64 limbs of bhakti. Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu, you have seen the 64 limbs of bhakti. Is earning wealth for Krishna and earning disciples or followers for Krishna, are they limbs of 64 limbs of bhakti?
No, Prabhuji.
Why not? Is it wrong to earn wealth or followers for Sri Krishna?
Because it's not an expression of the heart. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam. It's something external. And Krishna
Wonderful.
is interested in our love.
Yes. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will say, oh, Bahya, this is very external. You know? Because what happens, people get drowned in these sweet illusions. Oh, my big group and the big festivals that they are celebrating. Oh my God, so much wealth is being spent. All the wonderful decorations. And I am a part of all of this. Wow. Certainly I must be special. Yes, definitely you are special. Because of being a Vaishnava, definitely you're special. But if you consider these as eligibility for entering into the path of Raga Bhakti, sorry, these are not factors. These are not even factors of Vaidhi Bhakti. How much wealth you are spending or how much disciples one is making. These are not factors for even entering into Vaidhi Bhakti. Their devotees Viduratvat. They are situated far away from Uttama Bhakti. Uttamata Hanya. Sometimes they even harm Uttama Bhakti. Na Angata. Therefore, Rupa Goswami says, I will never ever consider these as limbs of Uttama Bhakti. Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu, I wish to ask you a question. Shri Rupa Goswami, he was, he was capable of bringing thousands and millions of people on the path of Bhakti. He could have also started a big group. But did Shri Rupa Goswami start a big group himself?
No, Prabhuji.
Some personalities, acharyas in our particular sampradaya, they started the practice of propagating bhakti on a mass scale. But even those acharyas did not say that we have to have Raganuga Bhakti on a mass scale. Those acharyas who formed institutions, they also had the vision that institutions are mainly for propagating one type of bhakti. Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu, which type of bhakti is propagated through in a mass scale through an institution?
Standardized, regulated devotional
Vaidhi Bhakti.
practices.
Yes.
Vaidhi
Vaidhi.
Bhakti.
Yes. So even the acharya, so somebody, then why did the acharya start institutions? Because a great mass of people will get access to one sort of bhakti, one type of bhakti. And which bhakti? Vaidhi Bhakti. But those amongst them who are fortunate will understand that there is one type of bhakti beyond the external displays of money, the external displays of followers, etc. Therefore, dear devotees, I will conclude with this one verse. And this verse is written for those devotees who wish to seriously take to this path. I shared this verse yesterday in the group, and I am sharing this here again. Yadraganuga vartma vidhi taridam guhyati guhyam tatha Śrī-Upangri nakhendu nisritalasa jyotsnaika vidyotitam samstha shishya dhana prasiddhi janitan hitva sadadambarans tvam angshushhraya vartma tanmama mana Shri Gaura Bhakta Priyam Yad Raganuga Vartma. Please know that the path of Raganuga Bhakti Tadidam Guhyati Guhyam is a most confidential one. Tatha and Shri Rupa Angri Nakha Indu Nisrita Lasa Jyotsna Eka Vidyotitam. This is one term. And it is Vidyotitam. It is illuminated Eka exclusively by the Jyotsna, by the brilliant moonlight. Lasa Jyotsna emanating from Nakhendu, from the moon-like toenails of Sri Rupa Goswami. So this path of Raganuga Bhakti is illuminated exclusively by Sri Rupa Goswami. It is he who taught us this path. What is Sri Rupa Goswami's expectations? Samstha Shishya Dhana Prasiddhi Janitan Hitva Sada Adambarams. Oh mind giving up Hitva, all Adambaras, all fraudulent displays of vanity, born out of institutions, disciples, wealth and fame. Tvam Mankshu Shraya. Mankshu means immediately. Please immediately take shelter, Vartmatan, of this path. Mama Mana, oh my dear mind. Because Shri Gaura Bhakta Priyam. This path is dear to those devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who have the required acumen to think beyond institutions, disciples, wealth, and fame. This is the path which is common to all those devotees of the Sampradaya of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who have seen the ultimate goal that Sri Rupa Goswami has specified. In the spiritual world, the jivas who attain Goloka Vrindavan will not be classified according to institutions. It's not that when Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu goes to Goloka Vrindavan, they, oh, Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu, you belong to this institution. And somebody else from another institution will be, oh, he belonged to that institution. No, no. All Saragrahis, all essence seekers from all institutions who have understood the correct path, they will be eligible to attain Goloka Vrindavan, dear devotees. Therefore, I leave you with this and we will continue. Next time, we will continue diving into this verse because there's a lot of details that we have to discuss on this. This is the final opportunity to discuss sadhana bhakti, especially Raganuga Bhakti that we are going to get. Therefore, let's make full use of this opportunity. Once again, I'd like to say that whatever has been spoken in this presentation is institution neutral. I am not targeting or critiquing or praising any particular institution or individual. My duty is to show what Sri Rupa Goswami has said in the words of Sri Rupa Goswami, what the previous acharyas have said in the words of the previous acharyas. Dear devotees, therefore, yadatra skhalitam kinchit vidvamsah purayantu tat, yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi. Yadatra skhalitam kinchit. If there's anything incorrect, vidvamsah, your learned individuals, purayantu tat. Please correct whatever was mistaken. But yadatra saushthavam kinchit. If there's anything nice, please remember, tad guroreva. It belongs to my Gurujanas, all those whom I quoted today. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. They all want the best for us. May nahi, it doesn't belong to me, dear devotees. Thank you very much once again. Dear devotees, thank you, Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu Prabhu. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, dear Hari Pārṣada Prabhu, for illuminating the path of bhakti in another really beautiful and carefully put together presentation from Srila Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamritam. We're going to transition now into questions and answers, and we just request that you either keep your questions short or break it up into segments. Just ask your initial questions and then give other people a chance. Don't name anyone specific or any institution in your question, but keep things based on principle. And I always forget
If you want to ask another question, you have to wait in the queue.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, we will begin with.
And one more thing. Please, while asking the question, please try to keep your camera and your audio stable. Because many times people are asking questions like this, Hari Bol Prabhuji, how are you? Yeah, so this is not, please try to keep your camera stable so that, I also can peacefully listen to your question and reply peacefully. Thank you.
So our first question is from Mohit Deshmukh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Narottama. Thank you so much. From beginning only you are shattering our sweet illusions. So thank you so much for that. My question is, like you quoted Srila Chakravarti Path, I think so, that Kshanik Lobha and Naisargik Lobha.
No, that was Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur.
Okay, Thakur. So also one that Guru Padashraya Lakshana, it starts from the Lakshana of Guru Padashraya. So it is after taking the shelter of Guru, Shri Guru, or trying to take shelter of Shri Guru, who is like trying to take shelter of Shri Guru.
Right. So the query is, how does Lobha begin? Does it begin before one takes shelter of Guru, or does it begin after taking shelter of Shri
It can
Guru?
be kshanik or naisargik.
No. You are mixing two different Acharyas' teachings. The momentary and permanent was given by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said it can begin from the stage of taking shelter of a Guru. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be, that you have to first perfect Vaidhi Bhakti and then only you can enter into this. No, it's not like that. So, Lobha, as Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, can also come from previous lives. No, I have specified very clearly. Lobha can also come from previous life. Let's say somebody has Lobha from a previous life. In this life, this person has not taken shelter of a Guru. But does it mean that he has to wait to take shelter of a Guru in order to have Lobha? No, because Lobha has already been inherited from previous lives. So there was nothing like that specified. But the actual practice of increasing that Lobha, it starts from taking shelter after you take shelter of the feet of a Guru who is on the particular path of Raganuga Bhakti. When he's speaking of a Guru, he's speaking of a very specific type of Guru. Which specific type of Guru? A Guru who's going to give instructions on the path of Raganuga Bhakti. That sort of a Guru is expected on this path. Because it is not that, I will just take shelter of any Guru, then I can begin. No, 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 no. It is not a formality. The Guru that one is supposed to take shelter of is a very specific type of Guru. Which Guru? The Guru that Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur specified. The reason why I quoted his words. Because many people are thinking, no, I don't need this requirement today. Things have changed. Bhagwan is most merciful. I will skip those requirements. Sorry. Please stop living in these illusions. Even today, the requirements are the same. The requirement is, as Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, the Guru has to check, give instructions to the disciple that you follow this particular type of Raga Bhajan. Oh no, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is most merciful. It will happen automatically. Please stop living in sweet illusions. The Acharyas have given a specific path. Don't try to make a shortcut out of those paths. The shortest cut has already been given. So all these things need to be considered seriously by the devotee who wishes to take to this path. Otherwise, one will get something show bottle. One will not get the real substance. So I hope that answers your query.
We should take sufficient time to find such a Shri Guru.
Yes.
What do like?
Yeah. Don't rush into it. Thank you. Please take your time.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Next we have Mata Tripati Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. Thank you so much for this enlivening class and shattering so many misconceptions which we might have had previously. So Prabhuji, I had a little doubt. So let's say a sadhaka is introduced to Rag Bhajan, Raganuga Bhakti, Rag Marga, but still he has not developed that Lobha. He doesn't have the Lobha, but somehow or the other, by the mercy of a sadhu, he's introduced to Raga Marga Bhajan, but he has not developed that Lobha for Raganuga Bhakti. And he doesn't, now that he knows about the glories of Raganuga Bhajan, he's also developed some kind of a detachment from Vaidhi Bhakti. He's looking down upon Vaidhi Bhakti. So what should be the go-to for such a sadhaka?
Yeah, nobody said you should look down upon Vaidhi Bhakti. Rupa Goswami said, Vaidhi Bhakti uditani tu, yani angani, whatever limbs were there in Vaidhi Bhakti, you have to carry forward in Raganuga Bhakti. That instruction, therefore I included that specific instruction, that all those, it's not that Rupa Goswami said, oh, Vaidhi Bhakti, now give it up. No. There is a reason why I included that slide. I knew some individuals will have, oh, now I have heard about Raganuga Bhakti, but I don't feel that I have Lobha. So therefore, I also included that slide where Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur said that it's important to hear from a sadhu in order to attain that Shravan Dasha. The first Dasha is Shravan Dasha. On hearing from a sadhu who already has Lobha, one gradually comes to the point where one has Shravan Dasha, one enters into that path of Lobha. But till that time, Vaidhi Bhakti is the secure backup for individuals who have not yet developed Lobha. Because we have to be natural and not artificial. Naturally, if we do not have Lobha at this point of time, but we have an aspiration for Lobha, wonderful. But right now, we may not naturally have it. So right now, what should we do? Right now, there is one type of bhakti which is willing to support us fully. Which type of bhakti is it?
Vaidhi Bhakti.
Vaidhi bhakti. So why look down upon it? And this bhakti will support us even in Raganuga Bhakti. Because almost all the limbs of Vaidhi Bhakti will be carried forward to Raganuga Bhakti. So there is no question of heen bhavna. Heen bhavna means looking down upon it. So Vaidhi Bhakti is most glorious because it is the standard bhakti which can be followed in masses. But since we are attached to the path of Sri Rupa Goswami, we are also discussing a specific type of bhakti which is only for the classes. I hope you are able to understand. Therefore, it is important to understand that there is a specific type of bhakti for the masses, but there is a different type of bhakti for the classes. So that sort of bhakti is Raganuga Bhakti, and that is the essence of all instruction. Upadeshamritam. This verse, actually, what is Upadeshamritam? This is Upadeshamritam. The essence of all instruction is this. That this was the type of bhakti you're supposed to aspire for, attain and follow. Now, if Krishna doesn't give it or the sadhu doesn't give it, then it's our misfortune. But if they give it, then it's our great good fortune. So there's no looking down upon Vaidhi Bhakti. I hope that is clear. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next we have Jai Dwarka Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you so much for another enlightening session, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have this question from, you said that Raganuga Bhakti one can enter into even with having anarthas. But at this point of time, he will not be having knowledge of his identity in spiritual world. So naturally there won't be Siddha Rupa Seva.
Right.
So initially one can enter into Raganuga Bhakti only with Sadhaka Rupa Seva. So can you please help us know that how it progresses?
There is a reason why a guru is needed for these things. It's not something which can be given in a general class. Can you please let me know how I will progress in Raganuga? Of course, that's what the guru is for. The guru is for giving a specific personal instruction, because not everything will be revealed in the general class. It's also not favorable to reveal all these things in a general class, because the anarthas of different devotees are different. So the guru who knows what is the specific medicine for the specific anartha of the specific devotee will give that particular instruction to them. If I give you a specific thing, what I am doing is I am making a framework for Raganuga Bhakti, which is very spontaneous. The acharyas will laugh on me and say, how did you make a framework for bhakti which is considered to be spontaneous? The very process of bhakti is unconventional. Then how did I end up making conventions for a bhakti which is unconventional? So as much framework that was possible, that much framework was made by the previous acharyas. And that framework, I have given the list of I have given the names of the book, Raghavatma Chandrika, etc. Whatever framework is given there is given there. Further doubts have to be asked from a guru who is our mahānta-guru, who was our bhajan guru for this particular path. But, let's say one has not yet one does not have a particular Siddha identity till now, because one is still a practitioner. How does one progress? So the guru may give instructions on how to progress on this particular path. Bhaktivinoda Thakura said Shravan Dasha. I'll give you indications. Entering into Shravan Dasha. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, take your time and analyze all the rasas. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, take your time and see which rasa you're naturally inclined to. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, go to the guru and get it confirmed. See, till this point, he has bought you. Then beyond this, if you have some doubts, then that is very case specific. So that you will have to, because not everything can be spoon-fed. Not everything can be spoon-fed. So I hope that answers your query to some degree of satisfaction.
Yes. So Shravan Dasha is started even the person is at Vaidhi Bhakti. So
the
and
guru,
gradually
the guru
as his Lobha intensifies.
No, the guru who is Raganuga Bhakta introduces the devotee to Shravan Dasha of the Raganuga type. Shravan Dasha means of which? Shravan Dasha on which bhakti? Vaidhi Bhakti or Raganuga Bhakti? The entire verse is about which bhakti? It's about Raganuga Bhakti. Shravan Dasha about Raganuga Bhakti.
So Shravan Dasha starts at Raganuga Bhakti. So it cannot start at Vaidhi Bhakti. Is that so?
The entire point of going through the dashas was to attain what? Siddha Deha. The verse is speaking about Raganuga Bhakti. We should now try to put the verse in a different box. The verse is not for Vaidhi Bhakti. The verse is for Raganuga Bhakti. And that is what all the previous acharyas have commented upon. So it is Shravan Dasha, Varan Dasha, Smaran Dasha, all dashas are from the Raganuga Bhakti point of view. The Guru will introduce you to Shravan Dasha and then will give specific instructions on how to progress on that Shravan Dasha. That sort of a Guru is needed. Right? Okay, chalo.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I have a question, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I have a PDF where someone has taken the Nectar of Devotion by Srila Prabhupada and fit in the original verses of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, so you can see how they correspond.
Right.
And something I noticed is that there's a section where Rupa Goswami describes the adhikar, or the qualification for Raganuga Bhakti. And I looked at what Srila Prabhupada said, and Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and Srila Jiva Goswami. And what I noticed was that Srila Prabhupada put a higher qualification. I guess you could say higher, but maybe a more strict qualification.
Right.
Where he specifically says, we must always remember, however, that such eagerness to follow in the footsteps of the denizens of Vraja, Vrindavan, is not possible unless one is freed from material contamination.
Right.
So I think that's where a lot of devotees get this idea that you can't start that path until you perfect Vaidhi Bhakti. So how do we harmonize this, Prabhuji?
Wonderful. So when different acharyas speak differently, because I will, there is very clearly I showed today that, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says you can enter into the path at the stage of taking shelter of the Guru. Very clearly he has mentioned this. And then Srila Prabhupada, we read from Srila Prabhupada, oh my goodness, unless one is purified from all material contamination, don't even think about it. So when we come across these statements, some devotees tend to take one statement, say, you see, Prabhupada said this, now stop immediately until you are freed. There is no more reading of this. So some devotees take extreme sides. It's important to understand what is called as Acharya Abhipraya. Abhipraya means when Acharyas make statements, what is the intention of the Acharya behind making the statements? This is called Acharya Abhipraya. The intention of Srila Prabhupada is different here because the nectar of devotion as a summary study of the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that is what he called it. As a summary study of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is meant for mass distribution. Srila Prabhupada knew that this book will be given to the masses. Now, when the book is being given to the masses, the requirement that he has placed is, well, you should first be fully freed of material contamination, because the masses will read this. Now, if he says, well, with material contamination, you can enter into the path and later the path will purify you. If the masses read this, you know the effect that it will have upon the masses. The effect that it will have upon the masses is that the masses will think, wonderful, now I can have any contamination and enter into the path. Later I will figure it out. And even without a guru, because they are just getting the book, and the book is a summary study and it does not specify the detailed requirements. You should have a specific type of guru, and that the guru should be situated on the path of Raganuga Bhakti. So these details will not be given in the summary study. So what option does Srila Prabhupada have if he wants to convey this thing? The option is to make the requirement strict. The strict requirement is first you be free yourself from material contamination. Then you do it. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, on the other hand, is speaking for a very closed audience. Raghavartma Chandrika is being handwritten on manuscripts at his time and is being distributed only in his inner circle. So he is free to speak what is meant for a closed group of devotees who are willing to genuinely progress on that path. So the purpose of Srila Prabhupada in Nectar of Devotion is slightly different. And the purpose of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Ragavartma Chandrika is slightly different. So because of the difference in the Acharya Abhipraya, the intention with which the literature were written, therefore you find difference in the statements. And therefore you find devotees who have taken to extreme, positions. You see what Prabhupada said, no more speaking after this, close all other books and follow Vaidhi Bhakti till you are purified. So when you find such devotees, you have to do one thing. What do you have to do? You have to say, okay, right? The best devotee is one who says, what does he say? Okay, Prabhu, wonderful. Yeah, I'll definitely do it. All right. And then you understand the path yourself. You understand all the aspects of it. And then you make an informed decision about what you have to do. And everybody who comes to you and says, well, stop immediately, you're not qualified in this life. You have to say, okay, Prabhu, definitely. So I hope that answers your query to some degree of satisfaction.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Would it also be correct to say, and forgive me for continuing on, that since the time of the Goswamis, there have been many Sahaja, Prakriti Sahaja individuals and groups who didn't understand the difference between genuine and fake Lobha, who had a cheap form of Lobha and then thought they were engaged in Raganuga Bhakti while doing all sorts of mundane sense gratification. And so Srila Prabhupada is trying to protect the path from such a deviation.
Wonderful. Not only Srila Prabhupada, but Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur actually wrote a literature called Prakrita Rasa Shatadushani. 100 warnings against material perversions of actual rasa. Let's just translate it that way. So he gave 100 warnings. And that book, every verse ends with a na. If you see every verse, it ends with a na. Before attaining rati, you cannot call it actual bhava. This is, so every verse ends with a na. It's like a neti, not this, within the path of Raganuga Bhakti. It's the first book which I saw, which has neti, not this, not that, the path of Raganuga Bhakti. Why did Acharyas write a book like this? Because the Acharyas were very clear, especially the Acharyas who started institutions, were very clear about the fact that many people have misunderstood the path. And because of misunderstanding the path, many people have manufactured their own speculations. And therefore, it's necessary to protect the path from, various speculations which are ashastric and which are not following strictly in the footsteps of Srila Rupa Goswami. These strictures were not existing before the institutions were formed. Let me give you an example of this. There's a very sweet purport on Krishna Karnamritam by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Now see, I'm taking you back 400 years. All right, now Krishna Karnamritam, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is writing a commentary. His commentary is called Saranga Rangada. In this commentary on the second verse of Krishna Karnamritam, just see what Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying. I'm sharing the screen. He says, Tatra Raganuga Marge, on the path of Raganuga. Anutpanna Rati Sadhaka, a sadhaka who has not even developed the stages of bhava, etc. Basically, sadhaka who is still struggling with anartha nivritti, etc. Bhaktai Rapi Swa Ipsita Siddha Deham. Whatever Siddha Deha they want, they desire. Manasi Parikalpya. They have a feeling, they conceive of that Siddha Deha in their mind. And Bhagavad Sevadikam Kriyata, and they execute service of Bhagwan. Chatariti Nam tu. But those who have developed Rati, those who have developed Bhav, Swayameva Tad Deha Spurti. Automatically they will have Spurti, or they will, the Siddha Deha will manifest in their heart, in their mind. So you see, this is when the mass level of preaching was not introduced. This is when Gaudiya Vaishnavism was given individually from qualified guru to qualified disciple. But when the idea started that Gaudiya Vaishnavism has to be given in masses, so in masses you cannot give diamonds. Please try to understand. You cannot give diamonds in masses. Then the neti started. The neti means this is not to be done, that is not to be done. You know, that is what it is. You see, when human society was pre-industrial revolution, human society was very simple. So transactions of money were informal. Transactions of goods was informal. The rules were minimum. And then came industrial revolution and everything changed. Now, don't give money to a stranger. Don't give money to a person whom you don't know. Don't give money to a person who is charging you extra. You know, so many netis are introduced because you have made a mass institution out of money. Right? You can see a parallel happening in Vaishnavism too. So I hope that clarifies your query.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Next we have Mandri Devi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Prabhupada's augurs all the devotees. Thank you so much for this really wonderful presentation. It's really enlivening and so clear. My question is about a verse of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that I've heard quoted many times, but the meaning of its words and the translation have been different. And if you could just shed some light on it, it's the Pujala Ragapata Gaurava Bhange Matala Harijana Vishayarange verse. And one translation I've heard is that the servants of Lord Hari who revel in satisfying his transcendental desires worship the path of spontaneous devotional service in a mood of awe and reverence. Could you comment on this verse kindly?
Okay, so actually, there is a very commonly quoted verse about that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, and this verse says Pujala Raga Patha Gaurava Bhange Matala Harijana Vishaya Range. So the first part of this says basically that Pujala Raga Patha Gaurava Bhange, which means Pujala Raga Patha, always worship the path of Raga, Gaurava Bhange, which means we should keep a respectful distance and we should worship this path. And Matala Sadhujana Vishaya Range, because if we try to imagine something or speculate something about this path, Matala Sadhujana, even the so-called big sadhus are also, Matala, they have also become illusioned Vishaya Range in material enjoyment by, taking some cheap imitation of the path. So, Pujala Ragapatha, worship the path from a distance. Because Matala Sadhujana Vishaya Range. Because even by imitation of the path, it is possible that you may become immersed on the path of of material enjoyment instead of getting true Raganuga Bhakti. So this is one interpretation that I have heard. But there are many other interpretations also. I would like to see that. But I hope that can you please repeat which interpretation you had heard?
The servants of Lord Hari who revel in satisfying his transcendental desires worship the path of spontaneous devotional service in a mood of awe and reverence.
Yes. Wonderful. Yes. But the second part, the second line.
Should I read it again?
No. Matala Sadhu Jana Vishaya Range. This one.
It's not there in the translation. It's not included. So I didn't know what the word matala means. I know Vishaya means sense object, but I couldn't put the verse together. It doesn't seem to cover the full verse.
Right. So what I've understood is I'll still try to find an authentic translation. Vishaya Range means Vishaya means sense gratification. Range means in the various shades of sense gratification. Matala Sadhu. So by misunderstanding it, even the so-called those who proclaim to be sadhus have become engrossed in sense enjoyment. So that is one understanding of that particular verse. But I'll still try to find out what is, if there is any alternate understanding of this verse. But thank you, Mataji. And, it's very good that these verses from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura are being discussed. It's very important, Purva Para Kariya Vichar, that we should compare what the previous acharyas have said and what the recent acharyas have said. And we should understand what is the abhipraya, what was the intention of the acharyas in saying what they said. Because what has happened is, some devotees have taken to extreme positions. Some devotees have said, no, nobody is eligible. Some devotees have said, no, everybody is eligible. So we have to see, compare the statements of the previous and the recent acharyas and come to a harmonious conclusion. But I hope that the interpretation I give was satisfying to some extent. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Next we have Bhavya Bhagavan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Prabhu. Thank you so much for a wonderful class, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So, Prabhu, I just wanted to know one thing. So, Prabhu, let's suppose if there's a devotee in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, okay, and is aspiring for the highest rasa in Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Now, somehow, this life he is not able to, achieve perfection. So, is there a chance that in his next life he can land up in maybe Sri Sampradaya and Madhva Sampradaya, where there's no concept of Madhurya Rati or some other rasas, and then achieving perfection for him can become a difficult task, bro. And things like that happen, bro.
It is possible, only if a particular person does not follow the path of Sri Rupa Goswami and goes away, something like that. And unless if one continues to follow the path shown by Sri Rupa Goswami, one will not get deviated. I wish one should not call it a deviation. One will not, go in another direction.
So, bro, can it be said like if someone is following Rupa Goswami Prabhupada properly, and if he is unable to achieve perfection, then Mahaprabhu will make sure that he again becomes a part of Gaudiya Sampradaya, become a Rupanug, and then
If somebody is not able to attain perfection, the Bhagavad Gita itself says that he again takes up the path, but which path? Which previously he has meditated upon. So that path, that person will definitely take up. Why will Bhagavan make a major change in this path? Because it's not randomly that Bhagavan decides.
Sure.
Thank you so much. I would like to go back to Manjari Mataji, and because I found out that there is a Bangla. I have a Bangla screenshot of the verse, and actually one of the it says Matala Harijana Kirtana Range Pujala Ragapatha Gaurava Bhange. Mataji, can you see this?
Yes, Prabhu, I can. Thank you.
So it says Kirtana Range. So basically, what it means to say is that the devotees of Hari became maddened in the rasa of Kirtan, and they worship Raga path from with awe and reverence from a distance. That is what it says. There is a variation which says Matala Sadhugana. Yeah. But this is what I think this is the standard accepted by the Gaudiya Math, that Matala Harijana Kirtana Range Pujala Ragapatha Gaurava Bhange. That the servants of Lord Hari became maddened in Kirtan, which means Shravan Dasha, Varan Dasha. So Shravan Dasha and Varan Dasha. They became maddened in actually Shravan and Varan Dasha, and they worshipped the path of Raganuga Bhakti with awe and reverence, and they waited to qualify themselves basically. It doesn't say basically, the intention is that they did not directly jump to Smaran Dasha, which was often taught, as the first step in many other Gaudiya Vaishnava groups. So the stress is on entering through Shravan Dasha, Varan Dasha, then going to Smaran Dasha. So the Abhipraya of the Acharya is Matala Harijana Kirtana Range, that the Harijanas, the actual devotees of Sri Hari, became maddened in Shravan Dasha, Varan Dasha, performing Shravan Kirtan. And while they were doing it, they worshipped the path of Raga with great respect from a distance and waited to qualify themselves before entering into the path. That is what it is. So I hope that satisfies the query.
Wonderful. Yes, thank you so much. This makes sense. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Next, we have Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for this very beautiful class, Prabhuji. It was very enlivening. Prabhuji, my question is regarding the institution you were speaking, that where we can do the Vaidhi Bhakti. So as long as we are in institution, we can only practice Vaidhi Bhakti. And if we have the inclination for Raganuga Bhakti, we should go and beg to Guru Maharaj or to some previous acharyas in a prayerful mood. Is it okay to be disconnected from the institution and do one's sadhana, swadhyaya, which helps in one's bhajan?
The path of Raganuga Bhakti is a very individual and personalized path. And somebody may be a member of institution, and it's not being said here that you first detach yourself and then you perform Raganuga Bhakti. First detach yourself from institutions and then do Raganuga Bhakti. No. Even in the verse which I specified at the end, that samstha shishya dhana prasiddhi janitan hitva sada adambarams. Give up false displays of vanity related to institution. And the verse does not say give up the institution. The verse says give up false displays of vanity related to institutions. It's a great amount of thought has gone in composing the verse. It's not a give up the institution. It says give up false displays of vanity which are produced by institutions, disciples, etc. Because a devotee may be within an institution, but nothing stops a devotee from having a personalized individual spiritual life following a path of Raganuga Bhakti. So member of institution we all are. When we assemble in the institution, go in the institution together with the devotees, we practice Vaidhi Bhakti, the limbs of Vaidhi Bhakti. It's not compulsory that one comes out of that in order to practice Raganuga. No. But a devotee who's practicing Raganuga Bhakti should have a personalized guru who can guide them and who can tell them how to behave in private and how to behave in public. So that sort of a guidance is needed. So I hope that satisfies your query.
Yes, Prabhuji. Or one more small thing is it a stage a devotee is switching from Goshtanandi to Bhajananandi?
These are not two mutually exclusive stages that, somebody either can be a Goshtyanandi, a preacher, or a Bhajananandi, or, somebody doing his bhajan. Good preaching or good prachar definitely needs good bhajan or good spiritual practice. So these two are not mutually exclusive always. Although some devotees are exclusively preachers and they don't focus so much on bhajan, and some are exclusively taking to bhajan and don't focus so much on prachar. So, please do not see them as mutually exclusive all the time. I hope that answers the query.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Next, we have Omkar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, before starting the question, I had one small point regarding Madhava Tripathi question. In Bhakti Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami says that a person who has not achieved Lobha, he can mix the Vaidhi with some elements of Raganuga. So, I mean, that's a just small point. You could clarify later. My question is, Prabhu, when we are approaching our Shiksha Gurus, then sometimes out of humility, or maybe that we are not qualified, they may not go into the details of the Bhajan Shiksha. And also in the case where we have 2 or 3 Shiksha Gurus, so they may have a little different Bhajan Paddhati. So in that case, disciple, how should he deal with this thing.
The thing is, why does a particular Shiksha Guru reveal or not reveal his heart to you or to us? It's because they are not yet Snigdha. Snigdha means they are not yet feeling that they are dear to us. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the qualifications of Sutta Goswami that the sages, mentioned is that Snigdhasya Shishyasya Gurovo Guhyam Apyuta Vettatvam Saumyatat Sarvam. I will share the verse with you. And this verse is 1.1.8, where it is very clearly said, Vettatvam Saumya. Oh, gentle one. Vettatvam, you know, Sarvam, everything, Tattvatas, true Tattva, Tad Anugrahat, by the mercy of your Gurus. Guru Yuhu Snigdhasya Shishyasya Gurovo Guhyam Apyuta. So for a Snigdha Shishya, for a disciple who has become very dear to the Guru, the Gurus have revealed everything. So why the Gurus do not reveal to us is because we have not become Snigdha to them. Snigdha means we have not become dear to them. And why we have not become dear to them is because something may be lacking from our side. So that is, we have to understand that we have to become Snigdha towards our Gurujanas. And then only the Gurujanas will reveal the secrets, not otherwise. Often what happens is, we go to 2-3 Gurus with an intention to test them. And then the Guru comes to know that we are testing, that this person is testing me. Would you reveal your heart to a person who has come to you to test you?
No.
Then why should somebody reveal their heart to us? If they come to know that this person is going to 2-3 Gurus just to test them. So Gurus don't reveal their hearts to people, because you said if we have 2-3 Gurus. Why 2-3 Gurus? You should have one. One whom you have decided as the mahānta-guru, the person who will actually give you. And then you should say, well, you're not one of my Guru. No, you are the person to whom I am. Otherwise, if we make, you are one in the list of my Gurus, then they go, all right, you are also one in the list of people who are taking guidance from me. then he will give guidance accordingly. So our attitude towards our Guru matters a lot. And often people they're checking out the Guru. Is this the person who fits my intellectual requirements? It's not about intellectual requirements. It's about the Guru who can cause a flow of bhava or lobha within the heart of the disciple. It's the Guru who can make the disciple feel the path of Raganuga Bhakti. That sort of a Guru is needed. And that sort of a Guru cannot be attained by our intelligence. That sort of a Guru can only be given by Shri Krishna. So I hope that clarifies your query. Right.
Yes, sure. Thank you, Guru. I pray to you that I'll be Snigdha to my Gurujanas.
Babaji, now I need to pass on the hosting service to Paramakaruna Prabhu. That's
Wonderful.
okay.
Yeah, sure. So he's also one of the individuals asking a query. So let's give him the opportunity to ask a query with the added responsibility of taking over the hosting.
I just raised my hand, so I'll wait for my turn.
No, Prabhu, you get to ask now, so that because we are giving you a special responsibility after you ask the query. Right.
Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu, Prabhu, for the kindness. And Prabhuji, I have just a thought that I want to share, and it may be completely misplaced. So please forgive me
Right.
for saying this. But the more I am unpacking the concept of Raganuga Bhakti, I'm seeing a strong correlation to something I have witnessed in the material life. And that is for example, I have seen very closely some academic circles of material education. Let me be specific, mathematics. And I have seen some very organized circles run by some very elite professors of mathematics in universities, of very reputed universities. And they kind of go and look around the country through various means for kids who are elementary level kids, even, or middle school kids, like I'm talking like 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grades, to find those who are genuinely interested in mathematics, who have some sort of we can call it, even maybe they probably won't call it this way, past life talent or gifted, as they call, or even just very interested, and they encourage them to, in various ways. And I have very closely seen such circles. And then they see whether there is it sort of just a initial interest, or is it something deeper, where they, when then told to sort of, let's say, solve some problems or give them exercises or give them a book, and they would just devour it, or they would then get disinterested and fall away. And those who keep showing the interest, they keep taking them under their wings,
Right.
and turn them into and there are many such success stories where such kids have grown up into becoming very prolific mathematicians, and some have even won Fields medals and all that. One example is Terry Tao, under the guidance of this person. What is his name? I forget. They call it some number. Like, he's a great math. Anyway, so I'm seeing a very strong correlation here of that, and maybe I just wanted your comment on this. And then the second part is that somehow I'm feeling that there is a lot of discouragement to enter into Raganuga Bhakti. Maybe because it is being sort of, at least mass awareness is being made that it is there, it is a thing like this exists. But then immediately there has to be a big filter that has to be put that, hey, 99.999% are not even eligible, so don't even think. Or big discouragement is being shown. Maybe that's rightly so. But when I look at this other material side, I feel that there is encouragement there rather than discouragement. Whereas there is a big filter of discouragement here. I somehow feel a little, are we, now we as in like me, but you and others who are, great sort of stalwarts in this, should we be doing that, or should we sort of not show this big red flag of discouragement on the get-go and miss out on those potential people who could be, groomed? But perhaps if the professors did that discouragement, many of those kids wouldn't have kind of come up in the, Just
so,
your thought. Maybe
so there's a parallel in the academic circle, because there are professors who actively look out for individuals who are naturally attracted to specific subjects, and they find those particular students, they test their abilities, and when they find that there's a student who has an innate capability from previous lives to, completely fall in love with a particular subject, they nurture that student. So yeah, this definitely happens, it happens in the United States, not so much in India. In India, we have institutions where professors come and teach the syllabus, and anybody who falls in line with the syllabus is passed, otherwise you are failed. The equivalent of what you can call Vaidhi of teaching mathematics, all right? So this is what happens in India. And then there are professors, very rarely you will find professors who are looking out for students like that. It's good to have professors who want to look for students like this, as long as they understand that such students cannot be mass produced. As long as they understand this fact, they cannot be mass produced, because such students you can count them on your fingers, and then such students can be nurtured and given quality attention. Very good. But as soon as the intention is to mass produce them somehow artificially, that's when the whole purpose of Raganuga Bhakti will be lost. You cannot mass produce them in a factory. A few years ago, I was a member of a devotee group, and one of the leaders, he said, he bought out a book, a management book, and he said, well, henceforth we are going to follow this management book. And this book says that you give a certain input, you make them go through a machine, and you get a certain output. So that's how we are going to make devotees. So we will have certain machines in our preaching. Every person who comes is the input, and he goes through the machine and output. And input and machine and output. And when I heard that, I said, I'm not so comfortable with this. I'm sure Sri Rupa Goswami will not be comfortable with this, because neither are devotees raw material for input, and neither are we supposed to put them through a machine. But there are devotees who believe in that, that greater number is greater success. So my good wishes to them, to those who believe in that. I'm not against them. I do not wish to be against them, because, the path which I am trying to follow is a different one. But, theoretically, I agree that there are individuals who could look out for such people, but they should be, it cannot be mass produced. I'll give you a very simple example. When the Vaishnav devotee Sri Hari Suri used to perform kirtan in the temple in Nasik, one particular day he found that a 5-year-old child sang very sweetly. He composed devotional poetry on the spot. And then he called his child later and he said, "What is your name?" He said, "My name is Shri Govinda." So he said, "You sing so nicely, as if you have an innate ability. If you are trained nicely, imagine how well you will sing. Would you like to get such training?" And he said, "Yes." And that was the only disciple he accepted in his entire life. He only had one disciple in his life. His name was Shri Govind, and he took the sampradaya of Sri Hari Suri to all corners of India and became a very renowned personality in the entire sampradaya. So he was actively looking for, disciples who were expert in the art of kirtan. So similarly, there may be gurus looking, for individuals who are inclined to Raganuga. So I agree, but it cannot be mass produced. So that is the answer to the question. And therefore, the statements of restriction. No, the big time discouragement. Wonderful. Anybody who has the maturity to first go through all the negative statements, analyze them, and if it is only about negativities, why did the acharyas give the path? if it's only about negativities, why did the acharyas give the path? So the acharyas should not have given. Sri Rupa Goswami should have only given Vaidhi Bhakti. Only Vaidhi Bhakti. No need for giving Raganuga Bhakti then. And why did Sri Rupa Goswami give Vaidhi? And I was, I was meditating upon this, that, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, spoke so much against this. And it is very much important that we understand both sides that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had given, because Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in one particular lecture which he gave in Radhakund, he spoke something which is radically different from what he had spoken previously. So I'd like to share that, Prabhu, because you have touched a very important point, and you can kindly read this, although I might have shared this previously in some talk, but this is what it is, Prabhuji. Kindly read from here.
Sure. The following is an excerpt from Srila Saraswati Thakur's lecture delivered at Sri Radha Kund during Vrajmandal Parikrama in 1932. The lecture was printed in the Gaudiya in 1934. In that lecture, he gave these orders.
Okay, so this is around the time when, his disappearance pastimes were near. And this is in the final stage of his Gaudiya Math Prachar. So please see what he has given. Please read.
All these days, we have not spoken about Leela, but this is our most confidential asset. This is our only sadhya, perfection. One should not make the mistake of...
If everything is neti, not this, then why is he saying this? It's very important. He's the Acharya who has given the maximum no's about Raganuga Bhakti. Don't, no. The entire Prakrita Rasa Shatadushini is filled with no's. But in the end, he expresses his abhipraya. Please continue to read.
One should not make the mistake of thinking that anartha nivritti, overcoming impediments such as lust and greed, is the prayojana, goal of life. One thinking like this will never enter into artha pravritti, acquiring one's actual need. For this reason, I will now begin speaking about Ashtakaliya Leela.
All right. So, he who was so much against speaking of Ashtakaliya Leela in public, finally, one particular day, he himself is saying, I will now speak about Ashtakaliya Leela. Although he had said that most people are ineligible, but still he is speaking. What is the reason? He specifies in the next paragraph. Please read from it.
I know that you are not ready to hear it, but we should know that such a transcendental ideal exists within the realm of devotion. Beyond the realm of anartha nivritti is artha pravritti, pure conjugal service to Sri Radha and Krishna. This is transcendental reality. If we do not know of this transcendental realm, all of our efforts may end in nirvisheshvad, impersonalism.
Yes. Oh, it's a very big statement. If we do not know of this transcendental realm, all of our efforts may end in nirvisheshvad. Do you know how it ends in nirvisheshvad? I'd like you to meditate upon it. Sorry, I've taken so much time on your query, but it's so important.
I love
how
it.
do this? Without Raganuga Bhakti, all other efforts may ultimately end up in nirvisheshvad. Without following the path of Sri Rupa Goswami, all of this may end up in nirvisheshvad. Let me tell you how, Prabhuji. Param Karuna Prabhu, you become a member of a very big group. In that group, you are as far separated away from, Sri Rupa Goswami as possible, because you are supposed to render service from a distance. You cannot ever come near to the Acharya. Can you ever come near to the Acharya? Say yes or no.
No.
Because you are always supposed to stay at a distance. Your only claim to speciality is that you stayed at a distance. And in this way, and then you are also told that the further you are in the line, the better you are. Isn't it so?
Yeah.
Right? The more distant you are, the better you are. Might as well become so distant that you become invisible. And this is what ends up in nirvisheshvad. This is what nirvisheshvad looks like. Sri Rupa Goswami had said, Vishrambhena Guru Seva. Service with confidence. Direct service of the Guru with confidence. And today what is presented to you is, because there are millions of people and Parampurna Prabhu is only one of them. And how can he be special? By staying at the extreme back side. That is your speciality. This is nothing but another form of nirvisheshvad, where there is nothing special about you. Parampurna Prabhu, you're just one of the millions of people. What is special about you? Nothing special about you. The only thing you can do is be one of the millions of people standing in the queue. And that when millions of people will get liberated, you will also get liberated.
Most insignificant.
Yes, most insignificant. I hope you are able to understand. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave a very clear warning about this. But it will take, a great amount of maturity to understand what he was saying. Anyways, let's continue.
Do not let your day pass in simply trying for anartha nivritti. Artha privritti is also necessary. Anartha nivritti is necessary until artha privritti has started. When artha privritti is present, anartha nivritti becomes unimportant and artha privritti becomes prominent.
All right. So when Shravan Dasha begins, when you will get a guru who is on the path of Raganuga Bhakti, and when the guru makes you inclined towards Shravan Dasha, that's when your Artha Pravritti has begun. At that time, Anartha Nivritti will take a back seat and it will become unimportant because it will just be a side effect of your Raganuga Bhakti. All right. Then he specifies it in quantitative format. What exactly is the requirement for this? Please read, Prabhuji.
Those who have chanted Harinam for 15 or 20 years should know such things. The beginners need not hear these topics or they will misunderstand.
Wonderful. So, if the beginners here, there's a chance of misunderstanding. Not that every beginner will misunderstand. Some beginner may have Rag Bhakti from previous life. They will not misunderstand. But it is possibility, there's a good possibility that a beginner will misunderstand. Therefore, these topics should be kept for those who have chanted Harinam for 15 or 20 years. But even after 15 or 20 years, if all that Param Karuna Prabhu is going to become is one of the millions of specks standing in the last queue, then somewhere we are heading towards Nirvisheshvad. It is precisely to counter this sort of Nirvisheshvad that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had appeared in this world. When organized religion becomes excessive to the point of Nirvisheshvad, at that point of time, Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur will speak in this manner. It is very important to understand that numbers is not equal to success. That numbers is not equal to success. And that this understanding was firmly fixed in the hearts of the followers of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur by him. Very good Acharya, a very, very good Acharya, who knows the flip sides of organized religion. So I hope that clarifies.
Beautiful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hari Hari.
All right. We will continue our Q&A. Kamniya Krishna Prabhu, please unmute and ask your query.
Hare Krishna Babuji, Dhanapam, my humble obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas and Param Karuna Prabhuji and Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu. Very wonderful and astonishing class as usual. So Prabhuji, initially you mentioned about causes of Lobha, where we discussed Lobha arising out of due to the mercy of Bhagavan, and Lobha arising due to the mercy of Raganuga devotee or Raganuga Bhakti. And then in the subdivision, like contact of previous life or contact of current life.
Yeah.
So Prabhuji, are there, is it possible to, have some kind of examples of all these four so that we can meditate upon them and try to gain some Lobha, the way we meditate upon the Siddha Bhakta, as you mentioned in the later part of the class that we should meditate upon Nanda Maharaja and Yashoda Mataji for gaining their mercy, So is it possible to get some examples over here, Babuji? Sorry if I had a long question.
No, you're asking for examples of devotees who got Lobha by associating with a sadhu?
With the sadhus or the Bhagwan or, from the contact of the previous life or contact of a current life, anything, so.
Shri Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu specifies that there was a carpenter staying in Kurukshetra. And this carpenter, he came in contact with Narad Muni. And by instruction of Narad Muni, this carpenter developed a specific type of Lobha which is parental, which is Vatsalya. He developed Lobha for Vatsalya Ras. And after he got instructions from Narad Muni, he perfected himself in that particular ras. So, this is example of somebody who got Lobha by contact with a sadhu. Then there are many examples in Gaudiya Vaishnavism also. Although Sri Raghunath Das Goswami is considered to be a Nitya Siddha, that he is eternally an associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but still in his visible pastimes, he had great eagerness. He had already had great eagerness to follow the path of bhakti, to follow a specific mood of bhakti. But then it was further nurtured when he came in contact with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, it is, there are many examples in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela also. There are many examples of in other Leelas also. So, these are some examples which I can give. There are many others. The general thing is, let's say Narottama Das Thakur. He was gifted with great Lobha, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself had given him his mercy. It's specified in Narottama Vilas that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he himself had kept prema, and the Lobha for such prema reserved for Sri Narottama Das Thakur. So this is a case of a devotee who has Lobha directly from Bhagavan's arrangement. So, but then he also nourished that Lobha by coming in association with Sri Lokanath Goswami, who was his guru. And he did such menial service for Lokanath, but personal service. Personal means you have to direct contact with the guru. It's not that the guru is 10,000 feet away and then, Pranam Guruji, and the guru cannot give a direct instruction and the disciple cannot get a direct. No. Vishrambhena Guruha Seva. Confident service of the guru. Direct service of the guru is required. So many times the acharyas have said that you need to directly serve the guru. And it is so disheartening to see that people twist these instructions and then show them as some sort of a virtue. Because, I will show directly what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says in this regard. It's a very, very important instruction given by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Let me, there is a question which was asked to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Kamani Krishna Prabhu. I'll share this question. It's from the Amritvani of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Prabhuji, kindly read the question.
Is it essential to associate and serve the spiritual master directly?
Yes, answer by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur.
Okay, sure. We should certainly communicate directly with the spiritual master. Those who do not wish to serve and associate with their spiritual master personally are bound to be cheated.
See this. Those who do not wish to serve and associate with the spiritual master personally are bound to be cheated. But in fact, nowadays, unfortunately, I see this tendency is posed as a virtue. You don't need to directly associate with the guru. If you just stay far away and serve, all the mercy will come because you are staying far away from the guru. This is not some sort of a virtue. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that those who do not wish to serve and associate directly with their spiritual master or personally with their spiritual master are bound to be cheated. And see the next sentence, Prabhu. Kindly read the next sentence.
Direct communication with Guru is the first step on the path of divine service.
So this is the answer, directly given by our acharyas. Why are we giving an opposite answer and showing it as some sort of a virtue? It is incorrect to show this as some sort of a virtue, that the further you are from the guru, the better you are situated. Whom are we trying to cheat? Ourselves or a big mass of people? So we should not try to cheat ourselves and we should not try to cheat a big mass of people by giving instructions which are contrary to our previous acharyas. So that is, I hope that satisfies your query.
So Prabhuji, we should meditate upon those devotees, right?
Wonderful. Yes, we should meditate. We should ask for their mercy. We should pray that we get the association of such a person in our lives. Wouldn't we want to have direct service of such a guru? Definitely we should try to have. That will be our greatest good fortune.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Prabhuji. Next, we will, Kamniya Krishna Prabhu, kindly lower your hand.
Yeah.
For asking. And then next we'll go to Tanvi Mataji. By the way, she just direct messaged me. She has some problem. She had her hand raised, but it got lowered due to some technical issue. So she.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So Prabhuji, actually in some previous class, I had asked this question that how should we find a Raganuga Guru, and you had said that we should pray intensely. So Prabhuji, isn't this a cycle that first we have to have the intense desire, we should have the Lobha for getting first association of Guru, and then again when we get the association, then only we will get Lobha. So isn't this a cycle? Like, how should we understand this?
First, we should have Lobha, then we will. Therefore, the Acharyas have said that first we should have the basic desire, the seed of the desire that I wish to follow in the path of the. We have heard about Raganuga Bhakti, the seed of the desire. Now we can pray to Bhagavan Shri Krishna to send us a Guru accordingly. When the Guru comes, he will give the full-fledged, full-fledged dose of that Lobha to us by making us eligible for Shravan Dasha. It is not expected that the sadhaka should first have Lobha and then pray for Guru. That is, a sadhaka can first have Lobha from previous lives. Wonderful. But if a sadhaka doesn't have Lobha from previous lives, Tanvi Mataji, then what will the sadhaka do? What can the sadhaka do? The sadhaka can do this. He can hear about Lobha, he can hear about Raganuga Bhakti, but then the sadhaka should be prepared to qualify themselves and wait for an eligible Guru. Till that time, a sadhaka should pray intensely to Bhagavan Shri Krishna to send such a bona fide Guru, and also pray intensely to prepare oneself for receiving such a Guru in one's life. So it's not a prerequisite for every sadhaka.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Madhav Tripathi Prabhu, please go ahead.
I think there are individuals who are still waiting to ask the first question. And there is Anang Mohan Prabhu, and then there are Krishna Ankita.
That I see at least here is Krishna Kita Mataji.
Krishna Ankita.
Ankita Mataji. Kindly unmute yourself and go ahead.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Pranam. Thank you for the beautiful lecture. A quick question, Prabhuji. If one feels inclined to some particular ashtakam or prayer or stuti, one when initially starts reciting that, one feels connected to it and take that meaning to the heart. Maybe it's shanik, because the moment it becomes a practice or you remember it fully, you are not able to relish that or keep that beautiful meaning intact, and that really hurts. So any thoughts to it?
It seems that see, one of the 64 limbs of bhakti is stava part, to recite a particular stuti or stava. It's one of the 64 limbs of bhakti. When the meanings are revealed to us for the first time, obviously there is newness in it. There is freshness in it. And therefore we are able to relish it so much. But when it becomes a routine, when we make it part of a routine, at that time, we have made a vidhi out of it. That we have said that, we'll recite it regularly. That's when the newness tends to go away. And therefore it is essential that the same stotra should be meditated upon from different angles. There are many commentaries on every stotra, including, I guarantee that the stotra which you have in your mind, if it is from Sri Rupa Goswami or Sri Raghunath Das Goswami or Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, it definitely has a commentary which explains it from different angles. Once we start seeing the same stotra from different angles of view, we will find newer relishment in that particular stotra. So therefore, my request is that you kindly study the same stotra from different previous acharyas' commentaries point of view, and then you will find different angles within it. And then when you yourself are sufficiently well versed with the culture of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, you will start seeing different angles in the same stotra yourself. So initially you can take help of the different commentaries of the previous acharyas. I hope that satisfies your query to some degree of.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I'll give you a simple
Thank you.
example. I'll give you a simple example. Like when I first read the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it was like Krishna came and Krishna, the Keshi demon came and Krishna punched Keshi and Keshi was dead. And then Bakasur came and Krishna ripped apart the beak of Bakasur and then Bakasur was dead. So, what is so relishing in this? So then I came across a very wonderful devotee commentator who allowed me to relish the pastime, Sri Harishuri. He quoted a very beautiful verse in Bakasur's pastime. Krishna nama mukhe sthapyam na Krishna pratima kvachit. He said, there is a lesson to be learnt in Bakasur's Leela. What? That Krishna's Naam is superior to Krishna's form also in some ways. Why? Because when you taste Krishna's Naam with your tongue, Krishna's Naam doesn't become Uchishta. It doesn't become, if you taste anything, if you touch your tongue with anything, you have to wash that substance because it becomes impure. So Krishna Naam is such a substance. If you touch your tongue with it, it does not become stale or impure. So Krishna Naam is that entity which one should touch with one's tongue. One should not try to touch Krishna's form with one's tongue. Because anybody who tries to touch Krishna's form with one's tongue ends up like Bakasur. This is the lesson to be learned. So that is a different angle altogether. What do you think, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, indeed. I think I know what to do. I mean, I know the step forward for this situation. If again I'm on the same state, then I'll again come to you and ask what to do next.
Sure.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Krishna Ankita Mataji, kindly you can lower your hand. We'll
Sure,
go to
Prabhuji.
Mohan Prabhu. Kindly unmute.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thanks again for such a wonderful class in such a detailed way on such a topic which is not generally discussed. Prabhuji, my question is in Raghavat Chandrika, it is said that a person who has a Lobha should hear the Leelas, which which has Anukul Bhav according, and Pratikul Bhav Leelas should be avoided as far as possible. But in institutions, it is generally discuss the general pastimes. And so how to conduct if some person has some specific lobha, then how to conduct in the institution based on his how.
If you are looking up to an organization to nourish your Lobha, I'm sorry, but why are you expecting something like that from an organization?
No, I'm not expecting from the organization because it is not Raganuga Bhakti cannot be mass preached there. But even we are in some Bhagavatam class or some general discussion, the discussion is generally on some different topics of general incarnations and all that. So many times we are not that much inclined to hear such topics. So
No,
in that situation,
we should be, first thing is, even if a devotee is, executing Raganuga Bhakti, it's not that he is disinclined to Srimad Bhagavatam. All topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, they have good interest in. They have specific interest in topics which are according to their Lobha. But it's not that they will turn away from Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always used to discuss Maharaj Dhruva's pastimes, Maharaj Prahlada's pastimes. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. It is, as I said, even if Srimad Bhagavatam is speaking about Vaidhi Bhakti, there's a lot of interest that a Raganuga sadhak will show in Srimad Bhagavatam. But he shows specific interest in topics which are pertaining to his Lobha. So if there are topics which nourish his Lobha, those topics are most welcome. Other topics are welcome. They are not to be, driven away. But if there are topics which are going against one's mood, then those topics that devotee is not supposed to listen to, because he is actively cultivating the path of Raganuga. For this, he needs to take instructions from his guru what to do in such situations. those personal instructions, when one has, on the strength of the personal instructions, he can do something about it. But a general instruction cannot be given in a public space because these are very specific, case-to-case basis. The Guru has to tell the disciple. So, but in general, Srimad Bhagavatam is to be relished. If there is a general discussion on the avatars going on, then obviously one should relish it. It's not like one should take great interest, see from different points of view, see about the glories of Sri Narsimhadev, Sri Vaman Dev, see all of this. Wonderful. But these discussions are welcome. But what is most welcome is discussions pertaining to the specific Lobha that an individual has. But for that, first we should have Lobha. We should determine that our Lobha is steady, not momentary. And we should know that it is steady, not momentary, because some devotee who's already situated on the path has told us, yes, it is good to go. You are good to practice this. Otherwise, we will self-assume everything and then we may end up, mistaking momentary Lobha for permanent Lobha. That will be a mistake. So there are a lot of precautions on this path because individuals self-assume, yeah, I have Lobha. From today I can start practicing. No. It has to persist. It has to persist. And we should have this persistent Lobha. The characteristics are given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We should measure and then we should see. That is what is. I hope that satisfies you. Right? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful, Prabhuji. Ananga Mohan Prabhu, kindly lower your hand. Next, we'll go to Madhav Tripathi Prabhu. Please unmute.
Mohit Prabhu, yeah, all these are, second time. Yeah. All right, let's go to, let's go to Madhav Prabhu. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I had a little doubt about that slide which you showed about Kaviraj Goswami's statement on Krishna Karnamrit. So, can you reshare it if possible?
Or why not? Please know that this is the understanding when there were no mass level institutions. Between Guru and disciple, things were given on a personal level. This is in his Saranga Rangada commentary to the second verse of Shri Krishna Karna.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, you showed that a sadhaka can, by his own ipsita, he can imagine in his mana.
Imagine. I didn't use the term imagine. I didn't use the term imagine.
Right.
He conceives of a Siddha Deha within his mind. Imagination is something different. Conceiving something based on one's prolonged Lobha with the guidance of Shri Guru is something different. Imagination is I am sitting in my room and I imagined I am something. That is imagination.
Right.
So Raganuga Bhakti is not a path of imagination. It's a path of a mature conception under the guidance of a qualified Guru.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, it says that Raga Marga Anutpanna. So, what does it exactly mean? Can you Rati, if it's not there, then how can he conceive? And can you
because the Guru guides
this?
The Guru guides him. So Ipsita Siddha Deha. He has a specific type of desire. He goes to the Guru. The Guru says, all right. The Guru tests him for some time. The Guru, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, he goes to the Guru. The Guru tests him for some time. The Guru says, all right. It seems that this particular Lobha is steady in you. All right. You conceive of, and I'll in the future talks, I will specify what instructions the Guru gives. Bhaktivinoda Thakur will specify this. Bhaktivinoda Thakur will not leave no stone unturned in giving us, what sort of instructions the Guru will tell them. And then the disciple accordingly will meditate on that particular bhava, and this is what his Raganuga bhajan will be. But I cannot give this in a general talk. Why? Because it's not. It's a very personal thing between the Guru and the disciple. Devotees are trying to figure out everything without actually doing everything. That's not how it is done. That's not how it is done. We have to jump into the water and get the qualification. That is Lobha. Not that by a theoretical study of Raganuga Bhakti, we will first understand everything, then only we will jump into it. No, 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 no. First and foremost, to get the required qualification, get the Guru. After getting the Guru, then everything will be manifest. But it is needed to. The reason why I am speaking about all of this is that, like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, it is important to know that such a transcendental ideal exists. It is important to come out of those impersonal models of performing bhakti where you are separated as far away as possible from your Ishtadev. It's important to make people realize that such a transcendental ideal exists. Otherwise, I could have easily said, Raganuga Bhakti is very simple. Just become one of the millions, one of the list, and stand behind in the queue. And at the moment of death, our wonderful Acharya will come and give you your Swarup. I could have made you fall into a sweet illusion, but I will not do that. Because those who are making people fall into those sweet illusions, they may have, their reasons for doing so. But my reason in speaking is what Sri Rupa Goswami wanted everybody to know. In the words of Sri Rupa Goswami, in the words of Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and nothing from my experience, nothing from my personal speculation. Because people say, Rupa Goswami might have said that, but nowadays, practically, I will tell you what to do. No, no, no. What Rupa Goswami said was practical. Please don't label Rupa Goswami as impractical. So there are people who are stepping above Rupa Goswami and telling us what to do. These people are actually, not giving us what the real message of Rupa Goswami is. This is the reason why I'm speaking this. Even though I know it is difficult to find such a Guru. Even though I know most people are not eligible. Still, in order to specify that such a transcendental ideal exists in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, for that purpose, it is important to speak about it. Otherwise, I will have cheated people while speaking Upadeshamritam. I will have given something other than Amritam and called it Upadeshamritam. I have to give Upadeshamritam. So I cannot give Upadesh water. I have to give Upadeshamritam. Otherwise, I will label Upadesh water as Upadesh Amritam and then people will get cheated. So this is not the purpose of this series of talks. All right? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us this Amritam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sachindra Krishna Prabhu, kindly unmute yourself and ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams to all the Vaishnavas. Thank you for another enlightening class, and have to listen to it many times before it sinks in. My question is, as technological advancements have been made, when Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami and the Goswamis were there in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur hundreds of years ago, it was a very close-knit Vaishnava family. And so you could go to a guru, approach them, and have that personal relationship and so forth. But now with such technological advancement and internet and so forth, institutions are here to stay, and it's going to be for the masses because you got to get them going on the path of Vaidhi Bhakti. But a person who has that Lobha manifesting in their heart from maybe previous lives or by the mercy of Krishna, and they take Diksha from a guru, that relationship in institutions that's this big are already so impersonal. You barely see your Guru Maharaj. It becomes very hard to get access to that. So my question is, there's a difference between Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, and mahānta-guru. Can all of them, obviously, can all of them qualify as being able to give you access into Raganuga Bhakti? Because sometimes Shiksha Gurus and Diksha Gurus may not be there, but by the mercy of Krishna, with that intense desire burning in the heart, he sends you mahānta-guru. What is the difference between those three, and can they all give access?
See, the Diksha Guru is someone who gives mantra upadesh. Mantra upadesh means he gives a mantra to us. And it is ideal if Diksha Guru is somebody who can give us time. Somebody who can give us instructions. That is the ideal thing. Because one who gets time and instructions from a qualified Diksha Guru has nowhere else to go. He got everything in one person. Everything he got from one person. Sometimes this may not be the case. At least once Shiksha Guru, once Bhajan Guru, and the Guru, who is supposed to show us the final path, should be such that one should have access to that Guru. Individuals, when they select Gurus, often they select Gurus based on criteria that, God knows what criteria they have when they select a Guru. But the criteria that they use when selecting a Guru are, sometimes I have heard some of these criteria. I saw my Guru for the first time and I was besmitten with love as soon as I saw him. I decided on that day that this person is my Guru. The way he walked, the way his gait and his mannerisms, I decided he is my Guru. Arey Baba, first and foremost, see in Shastra what is the Guru supposed to be. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtham. The Shastra says that the Guru should walk in this way and he should have these mannerisms or those manners. What is the qualification? How do people select Gurus? Just see, sometimes I ask a devotee, why did you select this particular personality as Guru? And then I listen to the answer. Oh, when I first saw him speak, wow, I was completely smitten by the way he spoke. His soft speech melted my heart. Arey Baba, does it mean that a person who speaks rough cannot be Guru? He can be Guru, definitely. Why are we imposing our characteristics on the Guru? We should not do that, which means we are fitting the Guru in our box. In fact, we are supposed to fit ourselves in the Guru's box. But some devotees have various criteria in deciding Gurus, various criteria. And many of these criteria are ashastriya. They are not according to Shastra. Then they get what they desired for. But at least if one is not able to get time from one's Diksha Guru, one should at least have a Shiksha Guru from whom one can get that quality time and guidance. Otherwise, if Shiksha Guru is also taken according to popular convention, oh, this particular Prabhuji is the most famous one. He is my Shiksha Guru. And I cannot even get 5 minutes with him, speaking personally to him. What's the point of Shiksha? And then these are just designations and we could not get any real benefit from them. So Shiksha or Diksha, and those who are giving Shiksha also, it's very important that not every person who comes to us is, some people are coming to test us, some people are coming to, just because we are popular, some people are coming just because, we are, because they heard something nice from us. People come with different intentions. Some people come to us because they are attracted to the way we speak or look or walk. So are all these people qualified to become a followers? Somebody who's giving Shiksha should also meditate upon this. It's not like that. So a disciple should also be chosen with qualification and a Guru should also be chosen with by thinking seriously about whether the Guru will be able to give us that guidance or not. So at least a Shiksha Guru should be selected, with great care. And because our parampara is mainly a Shiksha parampara. That is what it is specified. So I hope that answers your query to some degree of satisfaction.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. We'll go back to Bhavya Bhagwan Prabhu. Kindly unmute. Bhavya Bhagwan Prabhu, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Prabhu. Sorry. So, Prabhuji, I'd wanted to know one thing. Like, we just read from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada about anartha vritti should be focused till the time artha pravritti has not begun, Prabhu. So, Prabhuji, how do we know we are progressing on the path of artha pravritti, and what should we be doing, Prabhu, for that artha pravritti? What all constitutes in artha pravritti, Prabhu, if you could tell, Prabhu?
You need to have a Guru who will tell you what to do. First and foremost, you need to have a Guru. If I give you a framework, I am giving you a framework, all right. You should first enter into Shravan Dasha. And Shravan Dasha, what all do you need to hear during Shravan Dasha? Who will tell you? Bhavya Bhagwan Prabhu.
Guru Maharaj will tell, Gurudev will tell.
Right. And when will you be able, when will he tell you that you are ready for Varan Dasha? Or when will he tell you to analyze that you are ready for Varan Dasha, Smaran Dasha? How will all these things happen? The details of these things are something which cannot be given in a general class. But one needs, and 100% I'm repeatedly emphasizing, that one needs to have a guru who will tell one that you should do this and you should do that. Because if I give a general instruction, one man's medicine is another man's poison. So I cannot give a general instruction in this regard. So people will say, oh, well, Hari Pārṣada Das gave that you should read this book, or you should do this, or you should do that. So this is not what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you how to enter into the path. That is by getting guidance from a guru who is already entered into the path. And then the guru will give customized, tailor-made, unconventional guidance to the particular disciple.
Sure.
As I told
Thank you so much.
Prabhupada, one time a disciple told, I'm working on the farm, I cannot chant 16 rounds. So you might be remembering what Srila Prabhupada said. Do you remember? We had discussed previously. What did Prabhupada say?
No, not exactly, bro.
It's okay if you don't.
Sorry.
For that disciple, he said, it's okay if you don't chant your 16. You're fully engaged in Sri Bhagwan's service. Now, can we make a general instruction out of this?
No.
Right. So you see, the issue is that instructions for Raganuga Bhakti cannot be given in a general setting. Those instructions have to come from a guru who has accepted us. So what should we do? General guidance is given by the previous acharyas. The guru should make you enter into Shravana Dasha. Now, how does the guru make you enter into that? That is up to the guru's expertise. You have to have a guru who is expert enough to make you progress on the path. That is what it is.
I thought that pravritti meant that we should cultivate the good qualities that Titikshpa Karane and all of that.
We should not understand according to our intelligence. What is anartha nivritti? Getting rid of the negatives. Artha pravritti is cultivating the positive. What is cultivating the positive? Cultivating the positive means cultivating the direct service of Bhagwan Shri Krishna and his associates. How does that happen? It begins with Shravana Dasha. That is what is the meaning of what Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted to say.
Sure. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you.
All right. Because if we just start developing the qualities are a side effect. What is the main thing which will generate all the qualities?
That prem.
Yes.
Bhagwati and Kinchana. Sarve gunas tattva.
Wonderful. Now you understand. What is the main thing which will generate all the qualities?
Kinchan Bhakti.
Wonderful. And how does that bhakti begin? From which stage?
Shravan Dasha.
Wonderful. Because if you try to separately cultivate the qualities, you will not get the main thing. The main thing is Akinchana Bhakti, which begins with Shravana Dasha. All right?
Got it. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
Right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bhavi Bhagan Prabhu, please lower your hand. And next we'll go to Mohit Deshmukh Prabhu. Kindly unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you for giving the chance. I was having so many questions, but many of the questions were answered previously in the Param Karuna Prabhu's and Madhava Tripathi Prabhu's answers. My question is, Prabhuji, that I don't have a particular praman for that, but I have some of the Vaishnavas whom I have associated has said that if the health of the Guru is because of the health of Guru, we are not able to approach him, and if he is a mahānta-guru, then we should approach his varishta shishyas who knows the monobhishta of that Guru particular.
You have to speak in English so that devotees can understand, because you're speaking many Sanskrit terms. You have to speak in English so that devotees can understand the query.
What Shiksha Guru is called in English?
If the Guru is unapproachable because of health issues, then you have to approach whom?
advanced disciples of the Guru who knows the manobhesh, means who knows the, I don't know the term in
Who
English.
knows the inner heart of the Guru, right?
Yes,
Wonderful.
yes.
What is the query?
And because he is a mahānta-guru, we can't neglect to take shelter of that Guru. But another case is that if we pray instead of that, if we pray to Krishna intensely that please give me another like such a mahānta-guru to whom we can the Guru which can give us unconventional tailor-made personal instructions, as well as who is a mahānta-guru, and we can personally do Vishrambhena Guru Seva or Pariparshana Seva to that particular Guru.
There are many technical terms in your query. You have to, because devotees have to understand your query. So please rephrase in a way that devotees can understand.
Extremely sorry, Prabhu. Yes, the mahānta, or we can, or we shall pray to Krishna intensely to give such a mahānta Guru who can give us unconventional tailor-made personalized instructions, as well as we can serve him personally and inquire to him submissively from him.
So what is the traditional path? What does the tradition expect from us? I'm not able to hear.
Your audio is breaking up, Mohit.
The previous one is the month of.
What does the traditional time-tested evergreen?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
There was technical issue in my network. I didn't heard the.
What is the traditional time-tested path which is evergreen and which works all the time?
Krishna, when Krishna uses Guru, or Krishna manifest in a form of Guru.
Yeah. So the traditional time-tested path is to get an instruction directly from the Guru, to get time directly from the Guru, and the Guru is arranged by Bhagavan Shri Krishna. So that is what it is. We have to have that Shraddha that Krishna will send if we are sincere. That Shraddha we should have. And once Krishna sends, we will get that guidance from our Guru. Whether the guidance comes in form of personal instructions, some guidance will come in the form of general lectures. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says some guidance will come as Spurti within the heart. All of this we should be willing to receive. But Guru, from whom we can get guidance, is absolutely essential. I had specified that quote from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur when Kamaniya Krishna Prabhu was asking the query, that personal contact and personal service of the Guru is of utmost importance. And anybody who's denying this is clearly falling victim to Nirvisheshvad. Please mark my words, clearly falling victim to Nirvisheshvad. All right. So the warning is already being given by the previous acharyas. Those who are trying to make big number, and the greater the number, the more they are separated away from the personal association of the Guru. You are clearly falling to Nirvisheshvad. So it is very important that devotees get personal association and guidance from the Guru. This is the traditional, time-tested, evergreen path which our acharyas have given. And therefore, every disciple who wishes to progress on the path of serious bhajan should take to the understanding of the previous acharyas clearly. So what is the fourth limb of amongst the 64 limbs? Mohit Prabhu, tell me.
Hey, Guru Padashre, Tasmad Guru Padashre, Krishnadi Dikshanam, Vishrambhena Guru Seva.
Fourth one?
Like I'm not like in the line, but
Guru Padashre Tasmad Krishna Diksha Shikshanam, Vishrambhena Guru Seva, Sadhu Vartmanu Vartanam. What is the meaning of Sadhu Vartmanu?
Following the footsteps of previous sadhus.
No,
the path which
sadhus,
they have shown.
Previous sadhus,
the current sadhus.
No, they did not know practicality. We know practicality today. Previous sadhus did not know. We are smarter than them. We will tell you how to have millions of people, and then So this person who does not understand what is the fourth limb of bhakti, he speaks like this. The fourth limb of bhakti is sadhu vartmanu vartanam. Follow what the royal highway created by the previous. Don't try to create your own highway in the middle of the jungle, because the previous sadhus have already created a royal highway for perfection. And somebody who thinks, no, they did not understand. Today we understand how to execute bhakti. Wonderful. Time will teach you a good lesson if you try to go against the teachings of the previous acharyas. So if you want to succeed, follow the royal highway created by the previous acharyas. Do not deviate from that, because it's a very serious thing. Ultimately, it is we who will get cheated. So we have to be we have to put our Shraddha in the proper place. Somebody has Shraddha in big numbers. Wonderful. Should we have Shraddha in the same place? That we have to decide. Because some people are thinking we will become successful simply because we are big in number. Krishna must give me perfection, because my group has 10,000 devotees. How dare Krishna not give me perfection? Aisa, this is the thought process of some people. So time is a good teacher for such people. All right.
Loss is in our side.
Loss will be on us. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And sorry actually for not properly questioning the
No, it's okay.
Just
explain the question in a way that devotees can understand. Nothing else. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
We'll go to Omkar Prabhu and Mohit Prabhu. Please lower your hand. Omkar Prabhu, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhuji, I have shared a screenshot on the group actually. It's about the point where a person who does not have a ruchi has mixed his practices with Vaidhi. That point is given. And the broader question is that in the section of the Bhakti Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami is again and again using the word ruchi. And I think that is the reason why some Vaishnavas interpret that this Lobha actually is the ruchi. But actually, if we see the case, then he is basically saying that it's just like how a crystal illuminates the light. Similarly, in that way. My point was, but still, Jiva Goswami has put some more strictures in this section as we go through this section, like more than we can see in Rupa Goswami's or Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's explanation. So, how could we understand these 2 points?
This seems to be a very specific question from an Anuchhed. So what I'll do is, since you have shared it in the group, what I'll do is I'll go through it and I'll see if the question you're framing around it is, that question really stands. Because the stricture, if Shri Jiva Goswami has put some strictures around it, you can tell me, in the group, you can specify what exact strictures he has given. And then we can definitely do a comparison of that. And then, because this seems to be like a case study, not a simple question. So in order to answer a case study, I'll have to, do a small comparison, which may not be feasible in the immediate flow of this particular talk. But I'm open to answering it, provided that I get exactly what you are asking from Shri Jiva Goswami's point of view. Okay? Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Kindly lower your hand. And we'll go to Bhavya Bhagwan Prabhu again. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Param Karan Prabhu, for giving me another chance. Prabhuji, I have this doubt, Prabhu. Prabhuji, so there are statements like Prabhupada has made that if you distribute my books all throughout your life, then Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come to deliver you, he'll take you back to Godhead. And at times Prabhupada has said this also, if you can bring the Queen of England for the opening of TOVP, then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself will come and take you back to Godhead. So Prabhu, how do we understand these statements? And when Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Mahaprabhu are coming, so will they not take the devotees who were involved in such services to, like, in the innermost groves of Vrindavan in Madhurya Rati, Prabhu?
Oh, wonderful. So this is what you call a loaded question, because it is institution and personality specific. That's what it is.
Sorry.
So,
Sorry.
these sort of queries are loaded queries because they are institution and personality specific. Can you show me an instruction in Srila Prabhupada's books where he says that he will do so for all the devotees who come in his lineage?
I don't know, Prabhu. I'll have to check. I mean, this is what I've heard in lectures on book distribution and when they speak about POVP
Sure.
services.
I'm sure there is a lot of arthavad going on in some of those lectures, but I want you to show me a specific instruction in the book, because in the books I have not seen such an instruction. The books are, what are the law books? The books or the recorded conversation?
Yeah.
The books are the law
Books.
books, right? So you have to show me something from the law books which says that, you know, Prabhupada is taking responsibility for everybody who distributes. Because if it is so easy, I mean, wow, what Rupa Goswami did not conceive of, or Jiva Goswami did not conceive of. If we got some shortcut, my goodness, I'll go out and sponsor so many, I'll put money and sponsor so many books. It's so easy to get Raganuga Bhakti. Okay, Bhagavan, you need to tell me if there is a shortcut going on. So there's some season sale going on. Huh? I'll sell my house and I'll distribute those many number of books if it gives me Raganuga Bhakti. You have to give, but you have to give me an assurance from the printed books of Srila Prabhupada.
So Prabhupada says everybody has to fly his own airplane.
Hey, that's all right. No, you made a claim earlier that, you know, Prabhupada said if you distribute n number of books, then I'll personally take you. So you have to show me if this is a general principle that Srila Prabhupada gave in his book somewhere for the next n number of generations that will come after him.
I'm not aware of those in the books.
Then the question doesn't stand. Then the promise doesn't stand for all devotees, for all generations.
But then they might say, is Prabhupada cheating us by saying that, by promising
First and
us
foremost, is Prabhupada saying to us or is he saying to a specific individual?
I think he spoke to all the book distributors to encourage them who were
No, did he
distributing his books.
did he speak to a specific individual or did he speak to all individuals who will come after him? Because if that is the case, he would have said it in his books. Second thing is Raganuga Bhakti is experienced in this very life. Right?
Yeah.
So once a person distributes X number of books that Prabhupada said, then the experience should come.
Yeah. So Prabhuji, can we take this Nachatasman Manusheshu Kaschid Me Priya Kritama? That's Shloka 18.78.
No, I will not try to interpret any instructions of Prabhupada around. I'll not try to do a hermeneutic justification of that. I'll interpret Prabhupada's instruction directly as it is. What he said is what he meant, without any interpretation. So, but first you need to show me a statement in the books, which I believe does not exist. The instruction was given to a specific individual or a specific set of individuals, and it was not given to all individuals for all times to come. So for us to pick such an instruction given to an individual which was not me and given at a time which is not the current time, I would rather exercise caution in taking that as a general instruction. There will be devotees who will say, yeah, take it as a general instruction. If somebody wants to take it as a general instruction, wonderful. I have nothing against them. Let them go ahead and do it. Let them fulfill that the criteria. And if they get Raganuga Bhakti, they should come and tell me about it, how they got it. I'll be very happy that somebody got Raganuga Bhakti by distributing X number of books. I have nothing against anybody getting Raganuga Bhakti through a shortcut method. Because I firmly believe that the shortest cut was given by the previous acharyas and there is no further shortening it. So that is what I'd like to say.
Thank you, Prabhuji, because I remember that is there in a letter I've definitely read, but it's not there in the books, Prabhu.
Right. So it's a personal instruction. So let us keep it personal to the individual who received it. That is what I'd like to say.
Sure. Okay. I'll share the letter, Prabhu. I'll check and I'll share Dhāmeśvara Prabhu.
But I would again like to say that queries like these are individual or
Yeah, sorry, Prabhu.
institution centered, because this is not the purpose of the series of talks. The purpose is to discuss principles. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because let's say somebody
Prabhu.
from the Gaudiya Math is attending, what is the relevance for them of this question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
The question, institution and person neutral, please. We will go to Kriparam Prabhu. Kindly
Oh, wonderful. My friend from another Gaudiya Vaishnava family, Kriparam Prabhu.
Dandavats. Prabhu, you say that it's better to only have one guru, but in the other side, the Srimad Bhagavatam 11 Canto 8, Nahi Ekashman Guru Gyanam, that
Sustitam Syat Supushparam. Yeah.
Yes, and for example, for me, it's very difficult because my Diksha Guru lives in Vrindavan. He didn't speak English. He's very senior, and I need some Siksha Gurus like you for help me and how to balance this, because in the other side there is one type of unqualified disciple, the Brahmar Sisya, that only listen in one side, in another side, but he doesn't surrender to any guru.
Yeah, wonderful. So Prabhu, when I said that you need one guru, I meant for your final ultimate perfection, you'll have to listen to one person. General guidance on Shastra you can get from multiple gurus. And you said the Brahmar Shishya, the Shishya who's like a bumblebee, who doesn't sit on one flower, who goes from one flower to another flower and does not become faithful to any one flower. There are many such individuals who go testing from one guru to another guru. But ultimately, no guru reveals their heart to them. No genuine guru will reveal their heart to them, because they will come to know that this person is just, testing me out. So you can have multiple gurus, because Bhagavatam says, so I will never speak against the Bhagavatam. But for your prayojan, for the ultimate goal that you have to attain, finally you will have to settle on that one personality who's dearmost to your heart. That mahānta-guru I was speaking about. But other Shiksha Gurus, you can have multiple. Okay. But those Shiksha Gurus should also be, like in the previous Upadeshamritam talks, they should be favorable to the mood of your Diksha Guru. They should not, create a controversy in your life by speaking something, against, what your Diksha Guru has told. Or in case, even if they speak something again, then you should have the maturity to understand whom to follow, right? Because sometimes some individuals, I'm not speaking about your case, sometimes some individuals take a Diksha Guru who may not be so capable. But later they find a Shiksha Guru who is very capable. But then they have to listen to the Shiksha Guru in order to make advancement. At that time, they, undergo dilemma whom to follow. If they are mature, they will come to know whom to follow. But when I was speaking about following one guru, I was speaking about your ultimate perfection. For that, you have to follow one person. In general, you can have multiple Shiksha Gurus, because the Bhagavatam itself says that you can have multiple Shiksha Gurus. There's no doubt about that. But thank you so much. And I really love the background. It shows that, you are deeply interested in Rupanuga Vaishnava literature. I'm so thankful that the devotees from various sections of the family of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur are taking an interest in Śrī-Upadeśāmṛtam. The success of the series of talks is that it has reached to not only the immediate family that I belong to, but also my dear cousins from the family of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I'm so happy that devotees like your good self are finding nourishment in these talks. Thank you so much for kindly attending, and please know that your presence here is most appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I really relished this exchange. We have one more question from Mohit Prabhu, and Kriparam Prabhu, kindly lower your hand, please. Mohit Deshmukh Prabhu, please go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Thank you for giving a chance again. In
Prabhu, please stabilize
reply
your
to
camera.
Prabhu, you said that we should not have the attitude of testing the Guru. And because the attitude which we keep towards the Guru, Guru will also reciprocate accordingly to that. But I also heard that we should spend like some years or some months with Guru, like where each other, both Guru and disciple test each other. So this case is after the acceptance of Guru or before the acceptance of the Guru?
I said some people go to individuals only to test them. I hope you're able to understand. Some people go only with the intention of testing them, not with the intention of finding what is the absolute truth. Our first intention should be, I want to go to know what is the absolute truth. Then I see a person who seems to be qualified for it. Then I should see whether the person is speaking according to Shastra. That is the test of the Guru, is that the Guru speaks according to Shastra. Whether the Guru is living according to Shastra. Or that is not that I will formulate a new test for the Guru. Like Mohit Prabhu, I will ask you, I will ask you a particular query, the answer to whom is known to very few people, and then I will check if you are giving the answer that I already know. And if you give that answer, then only you are my. So this is not the proper attitude. The proper attitude is, I do not know. So I am inquiring. So please tell me. And when the Guru gives an answer, we have to see if the Guru is thoroughly honest and is quoting the Shastra. Sometimes the Guru gives an answer which may not be so accurate. But if it is coming from a thoroughly honest source of Shastra, the Guru is being honest with us. The Guru is quoting Shastra. But if I already have the answer in my mind, and then I'm, let's check Mohit Prabhu. Acha, he's giving the answer. This means I have malicious intent in my heart. And do you think that if somebody comes to you with a malicious intent, I'll tell you of something that happened recently. That I was giving a series of talks and somebody asked a query whether Shukdev Goswami is Srimati Radharani's parrot. And a few days ago, their Guru had given a lecture on Shukdev Goswami being Srimati Radharani's parrot. It's incorrect to ask a malicious query. Why are you asking Shukdev Goswami? Obviously, there's no praman in Shastra that Shukdev Goswami is Srimati Radharani's parrot. So it's something which has come recently. Maybe somebody's guru might have spoken about it. That's all right. The Guru honestly spoke about it. So the Guru is honest. He spoke honestly about it because he believed his sources are correct. So there's nothing wrong in the Guru. The Guru spoke honestly. But what is wrong is in the person who is maliciously asking even after hearing from their Guru. That is what is wrong. Because, you should not, this is not the purpose of asking queries. The purpose of asking queries is to arrive at the truth. And people who use queries as a weapon to maliciously test the Guru, that is what I am speaking about. There are many individuals like that who do like that because they already know what is there, but they want to check if this person is also speaking. And what will you come to after you come to know that this person is also speaking like that? Nothing. I was just testing you. Wonderful. The Guru will not open your heart to such a person. So that is the answer. All right.
Prabhuji, if he's not having any question, and if you have one time for one question, can I ask?
Maybe this question can be put in the group because I think we are now 3 hours and 15 minutes. That's what I said. So if there's one query, you can put it in the group and then I can have some time to look at it and I'll answer it. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Hare Krishna.
17 minutes. Thank you so much. You've been so kind with your time. Amazing. And I'm sure that many generations will relish these series. Such a wonderful contribution you are making to the Gaudiya Vaishnava Parivar. Thank you so much.
No, I would just like to say that, the queries being asked sometimes are very specific. And sometimes it may happen that I may not be able to give that specific answer that you're looking for. but I try my best to be close to the Shastras. So please know that, even Sri Jiva Goswami, when he wrote the Sandarbhas, he did a revision, a second revision, third revision, because he knew that some things could be refined. So when big acharyas are doing like that, please try to understand that the answers which I am giving, they can also be refined more. But because I have to answer immediately sometimes, so the answers that I give are according to the best judgment that I have from the Shastra that I have read. So please know that these answers can always, be bettered, and I always expect that I will better myself. So I am always a student of the Parampara, and in this spirit I am speaking. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. I think everybody has permissions to unmute themselves. Let us thank Hari Pārṣada Prabhuji from the bottom of our hearts for giving us so much wonderful.
Hare Krishna, Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
such
so
a
much.
wonderful.
We always
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
lovingly answered them.
Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna,
Hari Pārṣada
Prabhupada,
Prabhu ki
Hari
jai.
Pārṣada
Hi.
Prabhu ki jai.
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Srila Rupa
Thank you so
Goswami
much.
Prabhupada.
Thank you so
Prabhuji
much.
for wonderful class.
Thank you very
so
much.
Hare Krishna.
So we will never be able
So,
to,
Prabhuji, for
uh,
bringing out all the
we'll
blessings
always
of
be
Shri.
indebted to you.
All credit to Srila Rupa Goswami.
Thank you so much,
Like
Prabhuji.
the
Thank you so much.
representative of
Thank you, Prabhuji.
All right.
Mahaprabhu
So
Prabhu.
is Dhāmeśvara Mahaprabhu there, or I'll log off?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you. I'll log off. Hare Krishna to everyone. My pranams.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.